You are now entering Maximum Driftcast, the only drifting podcast hosted by a Spanish soccer mom, a 30-year-old silver-haired fox going on 60, and finally, a 200-pound bowl of spaghetti with chimichanga arms.
The champions, we are the champions.
Welcome to another wine tasting edition with Corey and Paco and Sam. How you guys doing?
Hey, Paco.
Are you actually drinking wine? Because I'm actually drinking wine right now.
Of course, this is wine tasting 2017 edition, the podcast.
Oh.
Maximum Winecast? Sure,
Yes.
sure.
Why do you guys drink wine? That's the first question
I
from
mean,
user wine.
Well, first of all,
Diary. What, Sam? Tell me.
Corey, I'll explain it to you.
Okay.
Look, every night before bed, as you know, I like to have a shrimp cocktail.
Okay.
I have a jumbo shrimp cocktail sitting beside my bed every night as required by what it is to live with me. And you spent some time with me. And Paco's traveled shooting some drifting with me throughout the years, and he had to fetch my shrimp cocktail every now and then. And you can't have a shrimp cocktail without a nice glass of chilled white wine. So yeah, by default, I'm going to have a glass of wine every night. Love it.
Paco, same question for you.
Because it's only like $3 a bottle at the store.
Yeah.
And it's like you can say, oh yeah, I drank a whole bottle last night. Oh, it's only like $3.
Wow.
It's cheaper than beer.
Oh, good point. So you guys get all lit on wine, and I just can't drink wine for some reason. I think it just turns everything in my stomach into liquid.
Maybe it should be a good time to
Nope.
start, Corey. Go for it.
No way, Jose.
No, Corey, no, we've discussed this before. If you butt chug, it doesn't go to your stomach.
Yeah, well, I would smurf a bottle of wine, but the thing is, I'm afraid I'd have a red stamp in my underwear, and it'd be totally obvious that I was butt chugging wine.
An additional red stamp in your undies.
Just a red stamp. It's
right.
it's a Pinot Noir. What, Sam?
Good news is that we're starting off the off season the right way, but obviously some big stuff happened just last week, right, Paco?
Oh yeah, Paco. Yeah. So things have been.
Everybody's been talking about it.
Yeah, it's been the hit of the internet.
This is maybe it's still like one of the largest things of the year. It happens. I think it happens pretty often. Maybe once a year or so.
So far, it's going to be happening twice a year now. It seems like
it's getting there.
Yeah, well, yeah, and of course we're not talking about the Formula Drift Championship, at least to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah.
Paco, what's the big news?
Oh yeah, Corey, should I or should you?
I'll leave the honors to you, Pac.
Okay.
I'm sitting back and listening and enjoying the show.
So I bought my third. Yes, you heard it right. My third Buick Reatta.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Third?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was your second.
No, this is my third one. It's actually exactly the same color as my first one.
Why do you still own the other two?
No, just the second one, the black one.
But you currently own two Buick Reattas, which I think is more than anyone in the world.
Yeah. Paco has the largest collection of Reattas in his front yard.
Actually, it's funny. Funny story. When I somebody posted that they found our Buick Reatta outside their office, and they took a photo and posted it on my timeline. And it's like, hey, look, found a Reatta outside my office. And then Tony Angelo commented, it's like, oh my God, like when we were doing Roadkill a couple of months ago, we saw this place in, I can't remember the state, like Tennessee or something. They had like 15 of them outside. And then obviously one of my friends on Facebook posted a photo of it. Like, oh, is this the place? Because that's me.
Wow.
Like 15 of them outside. So yeah, I'm still behind like by 13.
So we're going to talk about only Buick Reattas this episode.
That's it. Yeah. So the Reatta special.
We obviously took last week off because we had to cool off from Irwindale. It was a very crazy, hectic event. And we're all traveling.
Yeah, the other reason too.
But this week we're finally back.
Well, I was going to say, Sam.
All the information you guys want.
Yeah, I was going to say the other reason we took the week off was because we didn't know how we were going to break the news about Paco. So we needed a week of planning to get that thing figured out.
Yeah, so we've got a full Reatta cast for you today. So Paco, why the Buick Reatta? What makes this special?
It's a very special vehicle. It was handcrafted at Lansing, Michigan. The same plant where they...
Michigan, yep.
Lansing, Michigan.
Michigan. Same plant where they put together the Cadillac Alante.
Two of the best cars known on the
Well,
market.
Cadillac Alante is
for sure.
yeah, the
Cadillac Caliente. That's my
no,
Spanish.
it's a Pininfarina car actually.
Oh,
Same with
wow.
Ferrari, you know.
Oh.
And it has a very fancy digital touchscreen, all green screen, touchscreen. It's like like the 80s resumed in a car. It's got luxury.
Yeah.
It's got power. It's got the sex appeal. I have to swat the girls off my lawn like literally every night because they're just like ringing on my door like,
Yeah.
"Hey, open!" I was like, "No, go to your houses, you sluts."
Wow.
Yeah. Whoa, Paco. Oh
God.
my God.
Just the lady killer
All right,
over
well,
here.
okay, we can't talk about Reattas anymore.
Yeah.
Because Paco gets
Thank you.
gets very masochistic and patriarchal or whatever you want to say. So Paco, sorry, we have to change the subject.
It's the testosterone that
Reattas-
brings you from
Reattas
driving
just gets
such
you too-
vehicle.
Reattas get you too horned up and
Yeah.
angry.
Well, I think it's a combination between Reattas and wine, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, Paco just keeps staring into my
Yeah.
eyes.
That's actually the name of the meets every once a month is
Wine and
Reattas and wine. Yeah,
instead of cars and coffee.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Reattas and wine. Oh man, I can't. Well, that's probably the name of the episode already. So I'm glad we got that down.
Reattas.
So that's the thing is they love Reattas, but they love drinking wine and getting diarrhea. So I can see that being a really awesome meet.
Speaking of,
now that
why
now
can't
that
we see
Paco's
you?
Not
Yeah.
Huh?
Can't see
oh,
you.
I'm in rural Connecticut right now on the third week of shoots.
They're gonna see that's
for
Sam's
Snap-on.
little picture.
What is Connecticut known for?
I don't know. I've never been here, but I think they're known for connect
Energy.
the dots.
Kinetic energy.
Kinetic 4.
That's a great place.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to work on my Connecticut fun. So yeah, I'm just shooting some tool vids for Snap-on out here. You could say, one may say that, and yeah, pretty good stuff. Boy howdy.
Not bad.
So but also next week, I don't know if I'm going to have my face on because we're going to be at SEMA, but I guess we'll see what we do there. I guess we'll figure it out.
You're gonna get your face on? Or your
Face on,
off?
not face off.
Oh shit! Sorry.
When do you get into SEMA, by the way?
I think flying or driving. We're driving out because there's so much equipment that it's easier than going to the airport and doing an LA to Las Vegas for an hour. I think we're driving Sunday. I'm not sure entirely, but
So you'll be there
I'm
for the whole
actually
week.
not going to be at SEMA for very long. No, I'm not. I'm only going to be there for a few days. We're shooting some stuff with Mr. Vaughn and some other stuff out there.
So Sunday to Wednesday, maybe? Sunday to Thursday?
Something like that.
That's
So
good.
hopefully you guys see me. If you go to Ford out front, I'll be out there shooting at least the early days.
You go to Ford out front, I'll be at the butts out back. So.
Yeah,
I'll
ooh,
see.
baby.
Hey,
Hey, guys.
It's like good
Can we
times.
talk about some freaking drifting here?
Slidey
Getting
thingies.
horned up about Reattas. Corey's horned up about butts. Let's talk about drifting now that Formula Drift Irwindale
Now that we
is
set the
over
mood.
forever. Now that Formula Drift Irwindale is over forever or until next year.
Yeah. By the way, who made that video? The with Forsberg.
Funny you should ask. It was a concept from our good buddy Chris Mady from AEM that he contacted me and Forsberg about because he wanted to make something fun with these coins, and I drafted up a script for it, and we shot it on Thursday, and then I edited it Friday, and yeah, we made these coins called the last Irwindale maybe, or I was in the last Irwindale
That was
maybe
hilarious.
coins. So yeah, I don't know if there's any left, but yeah, these were limited edition coins for the last Irwindale event, maybe, because even though everyone's saying for the third or fourth or fifth year in a row that the event center is definitely closing down, I've still been hearing rumors like, well, the new investors also maybe kind of see some asset to keeping an automotive complex, and maybe their permits for their shopping mall didn't work, so we shall see.
Well, if you guys haven't been to Irwindale, it's between like 2 rock quarries and a Yantera tire shop. And what else is around Irwindale? So, if you think about it, it's a perfect place for a shopping mall. It has all the proper
The
amenities
Sriracha
around.
plant is near there.
Oh, yeah. So,
The Sriracha plant is near there, and actually there was I saw a class action lawsuit or some petition by the local neighborhood to try to get the Sriracha factory shut down because their eyes were burning from all the peppers being refined. So that neighborhood is perfect the neighborhood is perfect for a nice luxury shopping mall.
Yeah, no, it really is. You know, it has the space and also the other amenities surrounding it. So it would make sense. You know, if you're working at a rock quarry all day, it's easy just to kind of cross the street and you know get your shopping.
Tyler McRock Quarry.
Oh,
whoa!
Never heard that joke about the quarry at Irwindale and Tyler McQuarrie. That's very good.
So let's talk about Irwindale. So that just reminded me, at halftime we saw at Irwindale, or excuse me, not halftime, but top 16, we saw Sammy Huben-Nett. We saw, was Tyler there? Was that Tyler?
Tyler McQuarrie was there. And then who else was
Sammy
there?
Huben-Nett.
Reese Millen.
Reese the Peace Man Millen. Yeah, there was all these Formula Drift gods, and then Chelsea Denofa right next to him. and he actually admittedly called himself out. He's like, "Oh, look at the gods of drifting and some driver."
Who else was there?
Yeah, we got to see.
It's like everybody was there,
guys.
like people from the very first day. Like even wasn't Daigo there too? Just like hanging out.
I didn't see Daigo.
No, who was
there?
I thought somebody said that Daigo was there. Like I think I heard Jared saying that Daigo was there. I might be wrong, but
yeah, you were there, right, Paco?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately,
Paco was there, right, Sam?
Yeah, no. Well, we actually had a much more attractive, skinnier, taller, orange-haired version of Paco there to help us out with the halftime show.
Yeah, we had Lorette there. Lorette took your spot.
Oh, she did awesome,
dude. You just hand her a microphone and she just does whatever she wants and she kills it every time.
Yep.
She just does whatever she wants,
dude.
And actually, now that we're going to be getting into the deep cuts of the off season, we definitely got to have a Lorette only podcast coming up here. I'm sure we will. And,
or just her, and we're not on it, right?
Definitely not going to be weird. Yeah, it's just going to be her.
Just going to be her talking about indoor arena cross.
Talking about Paco the whole time.
Which, by the way, Brian is displaying several different photos of you that he's finding on Google. Actually, that's pretty funny. Every time you talk, it's like a different. Yeah, like he's like Googling, I guess, Drift Idiot or Sam Nalvin, and different faces and different photos. Yeah, it's like very interactive situation going on here.
Oh God! Now I've got to go on the.
Now you have to go Google yourself.
I haven't Googled myself in an age, believe it or not.
Also, Sam, we haven't talked since you released Driver on Driver with James Dean, which was awesome.
Oh, that's true. We haven't talked since that. Hopefully the fans enjoyed it. It seems like some people said that I was too tame, but to be fair, I hadn't really ever spoken to Dean ahead of time. And Dean James Dean's a pretty squeaky clean guy. He hasn't done that much terrible stuff that at least I know of. But
how did that video do, by the way? How did it do, by the way? Did you ever?
Actually the most popular one, I think. No,
really?
I think it somehow got more views than the Angry Michael episode.
Wow! So
but
we viral?
It's a different climate. Oh, we're viral. No, I mean it's a different time. It's a different place. It's a different climate because I was more popular on YouTube back then, and now Facebook seems to be the more easier, accessible way to watch videos. But it actually got shared a lot more than I thought it would, so that's exciting. So James Dean had like 50 of him and Peter's closest family and friends there in Irwindale. And I think they all saw the video at some point because whenever I'd walk by their camp, every single one of them would leer at me and like laugh or point or give me the finger.
Yeah, I was going to say, did any of the Irish threaten you at all in any way?
Oh.
No, they were all pretty nice.
Oh my God. What is that?
What is that awful noise?
Oh. Wow,
no.
We're just getting intruders now. Jeez.
I thought this was a secure line.
Yeah. Brian, did you have that on auto answer? And just automatically answered?
All right, we'll hang up on that guy. We're not ready for that guy.
Yeah, screw that guy. We'll call him in a minute. Some strange.
Anyways, we can't have people busted into the show. Anyway, Driver went well, but should we talk about the year of drifting before somebody rudely calls in again? We're not ready for them?
No, right.
No.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Wow, look at that. Just comes in and sounded like Dan.
It seems to be an awful lot of background noise, whatever's happening.
Yeah, we're trying to figure that out right now. We're trying to get that solved. Wow, awesome.
Can you text him real
Yeah.
quick? So it looks like somebody that I don't know who that is trying to interfere with our very nice hangout. So let's just pretend that nobody heard that.
Yep, no one heard that, and since we're doing a live show now, we can just not cut things out, which is great. But let's talk about drifting throughout the year, if we could be so kind.
Yeah. So we.
Anyways.
So unfortunately, Irwindale is pretty much in the history. It's not
Maybe,
no more.
Maybe we don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
We don't know that.
But everything started pretty good this year at Long Beach, and I would say.
I think, well, like we discussed before, though. Let's move backwards though, because we were talking about Irwindale, and we were just talking about Piotr Wieczek. I think at Irwindale, I think we kind of had a fairy tale finish for that team, because James Dean won the championship by showing up essentially to the line, and then was unfortunately taken out by mean old Odie. Odie was like, "I'm going to ruin this guy's perfect season," and he bashed into him for fun. Do you
Pretty
remember
much.
that? And that's obviously not true. So sorry, Odie, if you're listening to this and already enraged. No, I think there's just a bit of contact between them, unfortunately. And I'm not sure. It's kind of a bummer that I understand why the rule exists that he only has an extra 10 minutes to fix his car on top of the 5. But it's like, it wasn't his fault, and his car probably could have been fixed in the time it took to do the one more times and the track cleanups and the things in between. But due to the rules being the way they are, James Dean was not able to fix his car and get back on track, and unfortunately wasn't able to continue.
That was definitely it was interesting. Like, it seems like this year there was a lot of I think I'm gonna say I think this was the year of Byron.
Yeah,
there's a lot of,
because it would have been Dean versus Peter, which would have been insane. But unfortunately, Byron took the win against Dean there in some regard.
Yeah, but it's still. I mean, it's. Would you say, Corey, that like the driving level of this year would it kind of like offset, is like compensates not having all the 32 drivers and having so many Byrons?
Well, talking to some of the dudes about it, like what their take was on the Byrons, they're like, dude, it motivates us to drive hard in qualifying both runs because they want one of those top 5 spots. Which, if you think about it, it is kind of cool, other than, watching a Byron in top 32. But think about what it's forcing the drivers to do in qualifying to get one of those top 5 spots, so they have a free way into top 16. So it definitely changed the level of driving and qualifying. I would say qualifying this year is probably a little bit more fun to watch for that reason, but I don't think it really bothered the drivers that much. They just try to use it as like an advantage now. Let's get one of those top 5 spots. And I think Forsberg qualified as heights in Irwindale, which was top 5, which he got a free pass into top 16.
This is probably his highest qualifying this season.
This season with the new car.
Yes, it was.
And this
is
right after.
The first time he was actually able to kind of show that car not screwing him, at least.
Well,
for that moment.
he also podiumed the previous round, right?
I would have to fact check that.
Didn't he get a?
I'm gonna fact check that.
I'm gonna fact check it right now.
Oh my god, where's
I'm
Forsberg?
gonna fact check that. We're gonna Paco, you're gonna look like a real dingus if you're wrong.
So that was in Texas. Let's see.
You say in Texas.
Forsberg finished second in Texas. So Paco with the drift
yeah,
facts.
that's right.
Congratulations, Paco with the drift facts.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's sorry. It's been such a long season. I do remember. Yeah, I do remember that moment and how good it felt for him to get back on that podium. But yeah, he qualified the highest he had done all season in that car. But back to the previous what you were saying about did the driver's skill level increase? Did it overshadow the Byron thing that maybe have been a downer for some people? And I would say that almost like, I don't think it was as big of a shocker as when Daigo showed up with his 1,200 horsepower car when everyone else had 600 horsepower at 800. I don't think it was that shocking, but Dean has obviously had such a commanding lead over pretty much everyone, pretty much the entire season. People need to step up to combat this, assuming he keeps coming back, which, I did buy him a plane ticket for Fakesies in the show the driver on driver, and told him to leave and never come back. And maybe he won't come back because he was pretty intimidated. He was pretty scared by what I had said to him. So,
Well,
if he doesn't come back, then we can all just go back to our same old mediocre American drifting. But assuming he does come back, then everyone kind of needs to step it up somehow. And I don't know if it's the reliability or everyone just needs to become a better driver, because his car, I don't think, was that crazy overpowered. It definitely wasn't overpowered compared to other people. It was obviously very well tuned and reliable as hell. Like, he didn't seem to have any game-ending issues, at least from what I remember.
Well, there was somebody, if you guys pay attention to our Maximum Driftcast chat group, which you guys can feel free to join and interact in there, because we do
the discussion board.
The discussion, the Maximum Driftcast discussion board on Facebook. We obviously communicate in there amongst you guys and everybody else leading up to our episodes. And somebody posted an Irish newspaper that said James Dean, the new Drift King, or the Drift King.
Yeah.
And then it started this whole not argument, but discussion below that of people saying, well, who truly is? You know, this guy came in, ran one season. How does that compare to Daigo? How does it compare to the other previous dominators of drifting? So how does James Dean get that title? And then, you know, opening up for, you know, discussion amongst us, how do you guys feel that James Dean ranks as far as Drift King after his accomplishments from previous years and this year's? Where do you think he ranks, and do you think he is?
Well, I mean, like, Sam?
No, you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously, officially by, you know, saying who won, you know, like the Drift King last year was Forsberg, and the Drift King last year was Osbo, you know, like.
I don't think they ever been titled that, though.
Well, no, but I mean, like.
But they titled them as that. Obviously, Forsberg's a veteran, and like, people may say that, like Forsberg's a Drift King, but this was a big publication.
Well, the difference is that James Dean, I mean, he won in Ireland, you know, like he was like pretty much like the undefeated champion in Ireland, King of Europe. Then he came to the States and dominated. So, I mean, does he still needs to go and dominate Japan? Maybe.
I mean, I think he has what it takes to beat anyone in the world right now in his current setup. And, I mean, the only thing that you could dispute between him and maybe someone like Forsberg, who's a three-time champion, or someone who has commanded such crazy leads as like Daigo, is like, you know, maybe does he just need to get a few more wins on American soil? But I don't think there's anything that could stop him from doing that. And I don't think there's any driver short of maybe this is a good question. Let's look up who has beaten James Dean this year, because I don't think there's a lot. I mean, I know that Osbo has given him, I think, the best runs for his money against him, and Osbo in a car that was brand new and not really a chassis that anyone has ever drifted or is meant for drifting, was able to keep pace with him is incredibly impressive, and we'll see what Osbo looks like in next year. Hasn't he kind of already hinted that he's changing it up and maybe in a chassis more better for drifting?
You're hanging out a little too much with me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're talking about the Corolla, right? I mean, it's a.
No, you know, I thought I saw some sort of post about him hinting that he will not be in the Corolla next year, and maybe in something that is less weird. And
yeah, I think I heard. I saw something about it. He might be like
I haven't seen it.
Like it might be like on an FRS or something like that, right?
Where'd you guys see
or
that?
Something newer. I don't know. I don't know. I thought I remembered seeing something about that, but I think that this may have been a one and done for the Corolla. We'll see we'll see if he's forced into another awkward chassis next year. But the fact that he is able to like beat Dean in Seattle, or was that Seattle? Where did he beat him? No, Montreal. He beat Dean in Montreal to battle Kristaps in the final. So yeah, we know he's capable of beating Dean, but I think that Dean is still like on another level, car-wise and driver skill-wise, than the current competition this year. And I'm curious to see what drivers do to combat that, because we had, of course, Forsberg and his very weird new setup that didn't always work as desired, and Kristaps obviously had some issues going into the Irwindale event, which I know he did not enjoy. But we got to see the Eurofighter, which was very cool. That
was very cool, by the way. You guys were gonna do the sweet reveal.
Oh yeah, so We can actually give Maximum Driftcast and AEM full credit for the Eurofighter being there. That's mostly bullshit, but it was a fact that was verified, is that apparently that car may not have been here as early if it wasn't for the fact that they wanted to have it for the AEM Driftcast halftime show. So as a result of the car being there for the AEM Driftcast halftime show, Christoph was able to jump into that chassis and show that it drifted. It's this untrue, untried, unproven chassis that Christoph really hasn't driven or tested hard, and he drove the hell out of it. It looked like it definitely wasn't prepared for Pro 1 level competition. He was struggling, I think, with speed and grip, but he drove the hell out of it, and was super cool to see a nearly raw-bodied Kevlar carbon E92 Eurofighter just ripping around the track with these other cars we've seen all season.
So you're trying to say that if it wasn't because of the Maximum Driftcast AEM intakes reveal, Christoph would have
wouldn't have had a car.
He probably would have been. He probably drove the Reattas S13.
Yeah, I think someone had said that in one of the bullshit comment threads over the weekend. Was like, oh, someone dusted off the Reattas S13 when his motor unfortunately didn't make it on the E46. Or yeah, is that right? Yeah.
Yep. Also,
but yeah, Christoph was very thankful. He kissed my ring. He said, "Thank you so much for giving me this car." No, that's not true. But Christoph was definitely the talk of the weekend in that car. And one thing I did notice, I posted on my page, it's got a carbon fiber San Pellegrino cup holder in the middle for like a grapefruit sparkling can,
so he's
and
about
also a cell phone holder.
Wow. Oh, so his cell phone doesn't go flying over the window?
Yeah, it's a very fancy setup for him there.
That's good. So that was Irwindale. Actually, I mean, I since Long Beach, I was rooting for Evan Peters.
Evan
Peters. And I mean, I really enjoy seeing him on the podium. I never seen somebody so excited, like so happy about winning.
That's why that fairy tale finish is because they had their 50 people come out there to watch the
other
event,
one, like
and,
half Ireland was there.
Yeah, so then half of Poland as well. So everyone got to see Peter win the event, which I think was super awesome for him, and he definitely deserved it. I don't even know if Dean could have beaten him that night, because the way that he was driving he looked like James Dean out there, but maybe with a little more fury. His aura was purple or red or whatever.
It was probably
better aura.
Polish aura. If Polish was a color. Yeah, red and white and a little bit of blue.
Corey, why are you quiet, bud? What do you got to say about it all?
I'm just getting this intruder who kept calling us figured out as we speak. So he's been hacking our airwaves.
We can run through.
And you know what the thing is? Let me actually now that we're live, Sam, while we have her live, I have Matt Field texting me actually right now. He says he can talk for 15 minutes. Should we bother him for 15 minutes? Should we bother Matt Field? Ask him about his Corvette?
because there is some important information that was either spilt or intentionally brought up or something that didn't he already kind of bring up that info? All right, well, I don't have to allude to it anymore. He's driving a Corvette next season. Didn't he tell us that previously? I thought.
Yeah, he did. I think off air. I can't remember. I would have to.
I thought he brought it up on air at some point, but at least we didn't.
Well, I think he started his attraction for the car after driving Dirk Stratton's at Grid Life in Atlanta when he was there with you guys.
Oh, really?
I think so. I think that's when he first mentioned it, and then. There's a few
posts.
And then
Christoph on our show said that he thinks that the Corvette chassis is the best platform in the world for drifting. So it's not totally surprising, but it's still pretty cool to see another guy jump into a new modern chassis and hopefully kick ass with it.
Yeah, that would. Well, that's the thing is Matt's been driving that car for 7 years. I think he said the S14.
Yeah, pretty much the same chassis too, I believe. Like the actual same physical.
Yeah, the same exact one. Like the one he's crashed and the ones he destroyed, the one that Dean crashed him into in Canada. That's the same chassis. So that thing is definitely destroyed. So we were kind of all just anticipating something new, but I think this itch started pretty recently. Let's see if we can even get him on the phone.
Yeah. Before you do that, though, let's talk a little more about drivers of the season. I think rather than going round by round, let's just talk about some of the drivers. So Freddie got second place, a very well-deserved second place by. I think he would have dominated if James Dean wasn't here. I think Frederick would have had a pretty dominant season. And,
if it wasn't because of James Dean.
Shut down. Yeah, I think James Dean just kind of shut him down, but because he was driving on a level of maybe 99% of James Dean most of the time, I think. But I think we're not totally surprised by that because we've seen it before, but we haven't seen James Dean. And then I brought it up to James, too, after the fact. Yeah, believe it or not, after the Driver on Driver episodes, we are actually friends for the most part. And we got to talk for a little bit.
Have you got as much hate?
And I was bringing up... No, but people are pretty chill about it.
Okay.
But yeah, talking to him about how everyone said, I remember before Long Beach, everyone's like, he's not ready for the speed, or he's not ready for the walls of Long Beach. So, he's going to get screwed there. And then he didn't. And then people are like, oh, that's Long Beach. He's not going to be able to handle like a bull track with like an angled bull, like in Wall or Orlando. And obviously that didn't work. And then people were like, oh, James Dean can't handle blah, blah, blah aspect of American drifting. And that was obviously not displayed. So yeah, it wasn't surprising to see Osbo do very well because we know he's capable of it. But I guess some people were surprised by James doing as well as he did.
But it was definitely crazy seeing Osbo doing that good on a brand new chassis, like on tested, just like straight up.
That was surprising.
Yeah.
Because he told us early in the season, too, that he was going to power through it, and he didn't.
What up?
Oh, my God. Please
grinding,
don't.
And glue and crap. and now I got to hop on the Maximum Driftcast. I want to talk about the Corvette build.
Do you recognize that voice, Corey?
But it's going good. All the seams are clean.
Sounds like Harry Berry.
I think he's live streaming.
It's Harry Berry from the Fifth Dimension.
What's up, Church?
Oh my God!
Oh, there he is. Hey, welcome. Hey, Matt.
My headphones. I can't hear you. My shop's loud.
We can't see you, dude. By the way.
Oh, that sounds like him turning off a GoPro.
Yeah, so there's not like an aftermarket.
Listen to this guy.
Is there a way?
He's putting earbuds in. He's getting ready. Hey, my name is Matt Field. I'm putting in my earbuds.
Oh, is that who it is?
Listen to me here. I can't.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was someone who is bolsterous and talking about a Corvette, so it could be anyone really.
What was Christoph's teammate a couple years ago?
I do not recall his name.
Christoph's in the Corvette. Remember that?
Oh, that was his band name, his boy band name. Christoph's and the Corvettes.
The Corvettes, yeah.
Yep, I remember that now.
Yeah, that was a good group.
Now it's going to be Matt
this
Field.
Guy that called in.
What's Matt Field?
This guy that called in just going to call in and then be quiet.
He's probably trying to stick the phone up.
Can you hear me?
Oh, hey, did you? Yeah, we can hear you now.
My bad. I was finishing up some stuff,
Yeah, we heard.
It's all good.
We heard that you bought one of Paco's Reattas for next year.
Reatta? I don't even know what that is.
Oh my God!
That I don't want it.
You're not worth it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Yeah, I was just grinding seam sealer and glue and all kinds of crap off the floor and stuff.
Because that's what Corvettes are put together with: seam sealer and glue.
Yo, the whole thing.
Yep.
Crazy.
Wow.
What kind of music do you usually grind to?
Yeah.
The R&B, bro.
Yeah.
Grinding to R&B only.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Like R. Kelly and stuff? You little dirty bird.
Only.
I'm inside the closet.
So, hey, dude. So really on this whole thing.
Field.
Go ahead, Sam. You hit him with the first one.
No, I was going to say, we were trying to recall, did you or did you not bring up publicly on our show in the past that you were going to drive a Corvette? I feel like we hinted at it at some point, but I don't know.
I think it was
This
definitely a hint, and if no one realized that it was like a pretty serious hint, then they might be kind of dumb. But
yeah.
I mean, yeah, we talked about it, man. We did.
Yeah, but this is something you've had in at least your mind for some time, and now it's gone live. Was it intentional that little Patty Cakes Goodman posted that? Is that how it came out?
So, no. I just decided. I've had the car for a while now. I've had the car for probably 2, maybe even 3 months, probably 2 months, and it's just been sitting outside my shop. And every time I get back from an event, I'm like, all right, sweet, I'm going to start working on the Corvette. And then, like, no, I got to rebuild the whole front end of my car because Dean Kearney smashed me into the wall. So that's not going to happen. And then after the next round, it's like, all right, sweet, after Texas, I'm going to be able to do this. And then it's like, no, I'm doing the FIA thing. And then I have 1 week to get my car ready for Irwindale. So that's not going to happen. So it's just sat. And I've discussed with Pat for a while now, like what I want to do and thinking about it before I bought the car. And he really wanted to do one. And then when I got the car, I told Ian over at Factory 83, like, hey, let's get something going. Like, I want to have a rendering so that I can drop something and I can start showing people. And, you know, he came up with a rendering. I immediately knew, like, this is the right decision. It just looks so sick. And on Friday was the day that I just said, I'm going for it. I'm not waiting any longer. My S14's still in the trailer. I haven't even looked at it, but now we're going to go 100% on the Corvette, and I'm glad.
Well, that's very exciting news to see someone jumping into a newer chassis. And how do you feel about dumping your 7-year-old beaten and tried and battle-tested S14?
You know, I've always loved that thing, right? Like, always. And then now that I'm starting to work on the Corvette, I'm like, I hate S chassis. I'm so over it. This thing is better in every way. I'm like, oh, I want to do this? No problem. It's already got that. Oh, I need to do this? Oh, that's easy to do. Oh, I want to do this? That's just great. And I'm sure that it's going to come with its own set of challenges. But just so far, I couldn't be happier that I made this decision. And I'm really liking the chassis of the C6. Obviously, I haven't dove into like all the problems that they could be having, but so far I'm enjoying it.
Well, allow me
What's
to
the history?
Oh, before,
Go ahead,
allow me to introduce you real quick to the Corvette etiquette. Now that you have a Corvette, every time you see Dirk Stratton, you're gonna have to give him the Corvette wave.
Which is you just flicking two fingers.
Yeah, just
out.
flicking
Show
two
the
fingers. You
yes.
show the camera. So like when you're driving, you see him driving by, just flick the two fingers.
Okay.
That's called the Corvette wave.
Okay.
You have to have one of those detailer things in your trunk.
Oh, to get the dust off?
California,
California Duster, exactly. You have to have one of those. A lot of peel and stick chrome pieces. It's highly encouraged if you want to be successful in the Corvette world.
Okay.
Jean shorts.
Yep.
Long
Really?
socks. Yeah.
White socks.
Jean shorts, long white socks.
And those what's those sandals that have like that has the 5 straps on them?
Yeah, like Velcro.
Birkenstocks.
Birkenstocks.
Yeah, so you need Birkenstocks.
Yep.
Need the Birks.
Now, I don't have the visuals here. I'm on the road, unfortunately. But isn't the Corvette wave? Isn't that when you take like your 2 fingers, you kind of like separate them like a peace sign, then you stick your tongue in the middle?
That's a vet. That's a vet.
That
wave.
is the vet.
That's a vet wave.
That's a vet eater.
Yeah, dude. Okay.
There you go.
There's your hero car for next year.
Yep. I want to see Matt Field the Corvette tramp stamp.
I was already talking about that. It was already getting discussed.
Dude,
you know what though? For sure, those horribly gaudy Corvette jackets that you would like go into a Chevrolet dealership.
Oh yeah.
And buy.
You got you one, right?
That's team gear. That's happening. All of us.
I can't
Corvette,
wait.
gaudy, fucking Corvette, gaudy, disgusting jackets. But I'm gonna love it and I'm gonna wear it proud.
Gold medallions.
Oh, that's so excellent.
Hopefully you can finally start
Now,
growing chest hair too. But what's that, Sam?
Yeah, he's gonna get his first chest hair real soon.
It's already started to come in over the weekend.
Oh hell yeah! What's the history of this specific Corvette? How did it end up in your hands? And did you mean for it to become a drift car? How did this go down?
Right. So,
let me guess. There was a flood in Houston.
Yeah. No, I got it after before the Houston flood, but
you missed the opportunity.
My sponsor, Part Shop Max, has been discussing with me new chassis options for a while now. I really didn't even want to drive my car again this year. It just kind of worked out like that with how busy my schedule was doing D1 and everything else. So I was considering my options of what I was going to do. And between Dan, who's the owner of Part Shop Max, and myself, we kind of came to the conclusion, like, the Corvette is what we need to do. He believes it. I believe it, which is why he went out and bought a C7, and he's starting to develop parts for that. So we're going to have the C7 as like my demo car and the development car for the future. then the C6 kind of developing what we believe is going to be the chassis of the very near future as S chassis kind of get more expensive and Corvettes get less expensive. It's just going to make sense. And I got one of my buddies, Graham Downey. He's a car dealer, and he's always by my shop helping out. He works on my team and stuff as well. And he's like, dude, I see those things on the auction all the time, because I was scouring Craigslist trying to find one, and I was like, man, they're kind of expensive still, you know? And he's like, nah, we can find one for cheap on the auction. I guarantee it, no problem. Oh, yeah. So he
all
came
the
to me with
confiscated
this
drug
car.
dealer cars.
Yeah.
Oh, it's white. It's a cocaine white Corvette, baby.
Yeah.
He came to me. He saw this car. He was like, yo, this is on Copart. It's a good deal. I think we can get it for around 10 grand. You know, it's sitting at this right now. It's in Atlanta, and it says flood damage, and it has a title of destruction. So basically what that means is that no one can buy it and retitle it and put it on the road. They consider the car not roadworthy anymore. So therefore, it's only good for the cost of the parts, right? So I got the
that's
car
like almost worth it just for the LS and everything else in it, right?
Yep. So I think we got it for 10,700 or something like that.
Wow, you got ripped off.
Not really.
No kidding.
And by the time it was here, you know, it was 12 grand, something like that. And it came with an LS3. It was an automatic car, but the automatic transmission seemed to go for just as much money as the manual transmissions.
Yeah.
The LS3s go for good money. The body was like perfect, so all the body parts I'll be able to sell. The interior kind of smelled like shit. It did, moldy, mildewy, but
He's
you know,
used
we
to it.
ditched the carpets and everything else was good, like the dash and all that stuff. So I think I'll be able to make my money back just selling the crap I don't need. And then I have a really good, perfectly straight chassis that has, you know, straight doors, a straight roof, and good taillights and good headlights, and it can't really ask for more than that.
And a not so straight driver.
Until Dean Carney hit you.
Oh, Dean Carney.
If these two cars both are on track at the same time and we crash into each other, like, we might create a freaking dent in the earth because they're just so solid.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. The frame looks like a truck frame. Like, no joke. I'm not sure if you guys have seen my Instagram posts and stuff like that.
I saw that.
It is a frame of a truck.
It just goes on the outside, like by the.
You mean that in a good way?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, we're drifters. We crash. I'd rather crash something that's solid than crash something that's a tin can.
Yeah. Now the question is, are you? I mean, because C5, C6, C7, they all have the transmission in the rear, and the diff is bolted into the transmission. Dirk Stratton, you know, he blew up his diff trying to set up on Texas last round of Pro 2.
Yeah.
It seems like
before his qualifying lap.
Yeah. It seems like that setup is not necessarily the best for the extreme drifting, but are you guys thinking of doing like a dog box, rear mounted, or because I mean I've seen people converting those cars, putting the transmissions on the front for drag racing. Is that something you guys?
That's definitely something I don't want to do. If you look at the transmission tunnel, that thing's like 8 or 10 inches across. It's tiny on the inside.
But it's
meant for a
fiberglass.
torque tube. The firewall's fiberglass, but that part is steel because it's like inner frame rails as well. So fortunately, HGK has the solution. It is a Samsonis sequential gearbox mounted to a Winters quick change that they basically provide mounting brackets to make it damn near a bolt-on application into a Corvette.
Wow. Sounds almost like a like a sprint car setup, like a sprint car with gears.
With gears, it's gonna be pretty crazy. Literally, Chris Stapp sells like brackets that drop in and mount to the stock subframe. You have to like clearance out the smallest little bit of the bottom part of the subframe and clearance the chassis the smallest little bit. And literally that thing is like bolt on, and he has the answer for everything. The shifter bolts onto the factory torque tube. The factory torque tube, which is the crazy thing that connects the engine to the transmission in the back, and the drive shaft goes inside of that.
Oof.
All this crap is super new to me, and I'm learning as we go. You should have seen me and my boys trying to get that off of the engine. We're prying it with pry bars like idiots, and we have no idea what we're doing. No idea.
Didn't you guys, Corey? You guys had a bunch of C6s when you used to work at Bond Run. I remember seeing a lot of those transmission tunnels sitting on the back because they go bad all the time.
I don't know exactly what
Kind of like torque tubes or something like that.
I don't know exactly what goes bad in them, but there was definitely some issues that we were running into them. You can pull the microphone down Big Balls, if you have something to say.
I remember a shop I was at a long time ago where they were actually taking one of those tunnels out, and there's like some rubber bushings, almost like a Guibo in the BMWs. I think they have those
Yeah.
inside those, and those go
Yep.
out, and it's a really expensive job to pull that tunnel out just
Yep.
to replace a rubber
You have to
bushing
take out the
pretty
whole
much.
thing, transmission. all
Yeah,
this- yeah.
Well, guess what? Fortunately, Drive Shaft Shop has a solution for that. A
Aha.
carbon drive shaft with billet aluminum Guibos. Forget about it. You're done. And you want to know the beautiful thing about this car, right? Somebody has already done
How
it.
many Guibos does it have?
Well, isn't like a Guibo?
Like a New Jersey thing.
Yeah, isn't that New Jersey?
Like a guy
thing?
who parties a
Guibo.
lot.
There's one Guibo. He has slick hair in the front. He spins the crank in the engine, and then the other guy in the back is taking it from the back of the other Guibo. He's got not so slicked hair, and then they work together to make the rear wheels go
Team
forward.
Guibo.
Why are you so prejudiced, man?
No,
Like,
you know what? He just knows his Guibos. He's a
Knows
Guibo,
the
Guibo
Guibos.
connoisseur.
That's one thing I've always said about him. Better or worse, Mansfield knows a Guibo. When he sees it.
He knows them when he sees one. That little rat dog.
what
Yeah.
what about all the leaf spring suspension? What are you guys doing all about all that? Because these cars have leaf springs on the front and the rear.
Before you go there, I wish.
yeah.
Hold on. Before you go there, I wish. Matt goes, man, 10 grand for a new C6. He's like, can we settle to C4? I wish we would have seen you in a C4. Man, I can't cut 10K. I got like 2,200 cash.
315s on the front.
You want to know the best part about that? One of the guys who works on my team and drives the truck, right? We were joking, and I was like, man, I'm going to buy you a C4 as your daily. And he was like, just like trying to insult.
Is he gone? Sam? Uh-oh.
What, Sam, you like
Oh.
C4?
There
Oh,
you
he's
go.
gone?
No,
I'm
we,
here.
we lost you guys for a moment.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
You got me?
I'm here.
Yeah,
we're
I'm
good.
C4.
So you're going to buy a C4? Your friend was going to buy a C4?
I was going to buy, when I got the C6, we were talking about just living the vet life, right? And then one of my guys who works on my team and drives my truck, Ripper, he was like, I told him, trying to insult him, I told him, I'm going to buy you a C4 and you got to drive it every single day. And he was like jazzed. And I didn't understand why. And he was like, no, my first car was going to be a C4. My uncle was going to give it to me. But then he told me I couldn't handle the power. And I was so upset
Dude.
that I didn't get the C4. And now I want one.
That is
Like,
so
why?
hilarious because when I was trying to buy my first car, I went with an '88 Fox Body Mustang
Right.
over a 240 SX.
And then you figured out you didn't have
Yeah,
as
before I
much
did the same thing.
testosterone to drive that thing.
Yeah, but I remember when looking for that car, I saw an ad for a C4 Corvette for about the same price, and it was like stock, but it had like a 200 shot of nitrous. The owner in the ad was like, "Look, this car is not for kids. This car is for men." Like,
Yeah,
and I
I
was
truly
a,
believe
I
that.
was a 16-year-old. and I was like, I kind of want this car. I'm gonna call him anyways, and he wouldn't let me see it.
Oh,
Wouldn't even-
no.
He's like, you sound like a young whippersnapper. You stay the hell away from my car.
Yeah. I don't sell my
Yeah.
cars to girls.
Little tire kicker.
And I mean, to be fair, I could barely handle my 300 torque Mustang with bald tires in my high school parking lot, so I could only imagine throwing a more crazy chassis with a 200 ton of nitrous into the mix.
Oh
Like I
my
might have died,
God.
to be fair, but
Yeah.
But still, just the
I don't think
attitude- the
car is
attitude
that
of-
safe.
Are you?
the
Hey,
attitude of C4 Corvette owners of like, you can't handle it, and I guess they're right. Cause it's
They're
dangerous.
all like that. They're all like that. It's
I hope they
crazy.
would I hope Matt gets a fan base of all old
Yeah.
Corvette owners and starts going on Corvette
Oh,
cruises.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was just saying, for
So,
Long
Matt-
Beach, I might show up with a touch of gray.
Oh,
You know? I
Yeah,
might have to
yeah.
just for men, a touch of gray. I might show up with my Corvette jacket, touch of gray, salt and pepper hair.
Dude.
Might have to do it.
Ooh.
I would say go for a whole fuck ton of gray. That's what the ladies like these days.
Yeah, Sam applied a little too much on last time. He's like, oh, a
Yeah,
little goes a
yeah,
long
yeah.
way.
Sam is trying to
Yeah,
endorse this.
I had the touch of gray squeeze tube, and then I sneezed and just like sprayed it all over my fucking head.
And it just stayed. Yeah, and it never grew out.
What engine are you
Yeah.
putting in? Are you gonna rip the engine out of your S14 and throw it in there, or what are you gonna do?
No, I'm not gonna take the engine out of the S14. I'm going to be building a very similar setup. I'm gonna have CBM do me up another RHS Blocks 427. We're gonna do a Vortex supercharger, and fortunately, since it's a Corvette, somebody makes a bracket setup that literally bolts on, no questions asked. So I've been speaking a lot with A&A Corvette, and the guys over there basically have a solution for everything. You use this bracket with this power steering pump, with this water pump, with this, It all works together. You don't have belt issues. You don't have supercharger issues, and you're done. And it's just kind of like, it's crazy. And I wasn't sure, because I never take anybody's word for it until I like absolutely try it myself. But that's the same supercharger bracket setup that I sent over to China for the 8.6 that I drove the last round in D1 with. So I have already had experience with it. The guys at ANA definitely know what they're doing, and it's looking like it's going to be very easy to make work. It's a Corvette supercharger bracket meant for a Corvette in a Corvette. Can't beat that.
Isn't it funny?
So I bet that's
Isn't
super
it funny?
refreshing.
Go ahead, Sam.
I was going to say, I bet that's super refreshing to have that and this chassis that there's already so much development for, but all this development is, of course, for general motorsport or for a drag or for time attack or for GT or whatever, Corvettes in every class. But how does it drift? I mean, we've had Christoph on this very show say that he thinks it's the best drift chassis in the world, but like how have you drifted one is part A of the question, and part 2, as the progression goes, is how are you expecting it to feel compared to an S chassis?
No, I haven't drifted one. I have driven a C5. I don't even know if I've ever driven a C6. I don't know exactly how it's going to feel. I really don't. I'm taking the plunge, and I've definitely done my homework. I watch Dirk's car a lot because I've been a fan for a while, so I watch him drive a lot. I've watched videos of the HGK car. I've talked to Chelsea, who drove that HGK car, and speaking with Dan from Part Shop Max, who is going to be developing all the suspension for it. We have goals in mind, right? We know what we want to achieve, and we know what maybe does work, and taking a lot of what we learned on the S chassis and putting some of that adjustability that we have in an S chassis immediately into the Corvette should give us at least a path to go down, right? Like, I don't know how much caster this thing's supposed to have. Do I know how much caster feels good in an S chassis? Yes, because I've been driving one for 10 years. I don't know what's going to work, but I feel like with the knowledge that we have and the ability to work directly with Part Shop Max, developing the suspension, we're going to be able to build the adjustability into it and hopefully hammer down a setup in the first test day.
Yeah, we're excited for you to test it for the first time on practice day for Long Beach.
Yeah, media day, first lap.
That seems like
pretty funny.
It seems like that's the trend for everybody building a new car.
That's not going to happen with me. And I was actually talking with Odie earlier today, and I asked him if he would be willing to come out and drive my S14. Well, I drive the Corvette so that I can tandem with him driving my car, so I can see where we're at with the Corvette, because I don't know if we're going to be fast, slow, good angles, shaky, wobbly. I have no idea. But if I have somebody who I trust drive a car that I know is competitive, I should be able to gauge where we're at. So I think having those two things, working with Part Shop Max directly and having a car I have something to base off of, hopefully we get it developed pretty quickly.
My favorite thing is when somebody buys a $10,000 car and then puts $100,000 into it.
Isn't it the best?
That's the best thing in the world, dude. Just throwing
that's
change at it.
That's about.
What's that, Sam?
Literally, almost every Formula Drift car has that story.
I know, isn't it incredible?
Like
The only
Mustang.
I bought my S14 for $220.
Yep.
How much did you buy your S14 for?
Pro 1.
Matt, how much did you buy your S14 for?
I actually got it for free.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, from a buddy who was like, "You're doing Formula D in your S13. You crashed the hell out of it at Irwindale. You really need to be building a new car. Here's this chassis."
So you get a free chassis and then throw another
nice.
$100,000. Not a bad deal, if you ask me.
Yeah.
That's not a bad program. Yeah, so you didn't drive.
10 grand.
So you didn't drive Dirk's car in Atlanta. For some reason, I either saw you sitting in it or sniffing his seats.
I was doing both. Yep, I was doing both.
But you didn't have a chance to drive it?
I don't think he would want me to drive his car at all. Dirk seems like he's got something that he doesn't want everyone to know about, He seems to me like he's got it. He's like, I figured this shit out before all you dickheads in your S chassis do. This shit is sick. And I don't want anybody to know about it, because even when I was asking him questions, he doesn't want to give up a lot. And, I've already been telling you guys more than he's told me. So and I respect that. He's got to protect his knowledge, because he's one of the first to do it. Yeah. And as far as me driving his car, I think he would just tell me to piss off.
I think I know the secret.
What is it?
Air conditioning, stereo, and power windows.
Yeah, he has all those things. It's crazy.
That's so
Are you sure?
yeah. When he's ready to go, he's like probably pumping on Britney Spears.
Yep.
And
yeah.
air conditioned, so
I
he's
don't
nice
understand
and
why
cool.
more people don't do stereo systems in their cars, because everyone's trying to look to add weight at this point. I feel like a good 15, 10 inch, 12 inch sub box in the back with blowing some kicker subs would just really even out a whole Drift Pro 1 package.
Why
it's
not,
pretty
right?
funny. My first year of FD, I had a 15 in the trunk and an amp and like door speakers and everything.
That's what I'm talking
Power
about, dude.
windows in my F13, and that was back in the day before all the cars were like super, super loud. And one of my earliest memories, like pulling up at Irwindale, looking at Vaughn next to me, and then just slapping some Tupac and saying, like, giving him like, "What's up, man? What's up?"
And then did he blow
I
your
had no
doors
idea.
off?
Yeah, and then I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm out there with a 400 horsepower SR, can barely drift the bank, but at least I had a fucking system.
That is all that matters.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We need to bring that back. I don't know why people don't have sound systems, because that would pump me up.
Hey, so real quick, I know you're going to get back after it, but when do you think you're going to have this thing officially wrapped up and done for testing? What's your time frame on it?
I would love, and it may not be realistic, but it's what I'm shooting for. I would love to have the car done and testing by the end of January.
That would be solid.
It's not bad.
No, that'd be totally solid.
If I can get a month, even if I get 1 month of solid testing in, I'll be very, very good. Would I like 2 or 3 months? Yes. Would I like the car to be done before the end of the year? Yeah. But I can only do so much. So I think we're already fairly good on time, but I can't slow down. That's for damn sure.
How hard is it gonna be for you to switch from vaping to cigars?
Oh, not at all. Once I put on my Corvette members only jacket, I don't even think it'll be a question.
There you go. Cars and coffee every Saturday morning.
Yep.
Oh, hey, you want to know the beautiful thing about a Corvette?
I know.
could literally drive this thing down the street, and a cop wouldn't even care. Probably wouldn't even care.
Probably not.
Not one bit.
I mean, it depends on the livery. I would say.
No, it's a Corvette. I drove the NASCAR up and down the street. No one
Oh,
seemed to care.
dude, that was bitchin'. That was a Buick, by the way, Corey.
That was a real.
See?
That was
Yeah,
a
it's a
Buick.
Buick Regal, baby.
Hell
Buick
yeah.
Regal.
Bang.
Buick, motherfucker. Yeah.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's funny? because Justin, the owner of Heatwave, bought that NASCAR just for dicking off and doing cool videos and just having fun with it, right? And I told him, I found him, because 1988 is the only year that had that grill that like wrapped over the hood like that.
Yeah.
I found him a 1988 stock champagne, titties clean Buick Regal on Craigslist. And I told him, I was like, yo, go buy this and we're going to shoot some cool videos. So we'll see if he can get it. And yeah, it's going to be hilarious because our actual Buick Regal is like the worst. And then that Buick Regal NASCAR is like the best.
Let's do something. When you get that other Buick, I'll bring my Buick Reatta and we'll do like a side-by-side
You guys should be
comparison.
teammates,
Yeah.
really.
It was
Yeah.
born to be.
Yeah, you guys are teammates now.
Yeah.
Fuck Odie, excuse my language, but Paco, you're in full time next season.
That's
Sorry,
it.
breaking the
Next
ice.
gig.
New frenemies, new everything.
It's happening.
Well, you can play something off like Paco being from Mexico, you being from the States, and you can train a foreigner what it's like to be an American drifter.
How
That
to
would
train
be a
foreigner?
great, yeah, that'd be a
How to
great
train a
story.
foreigner.
All with front-wheel drive Buicks.
And then at the end, you guys fall in love.
Whoa. Easy there, you screenwriter.
I'm just me and Sam have been working on a script for the
I'm
past
just
5 minutes.
spitballing here.
Yeah, we're just shooting from the hips. But anyways, Matt, I think that's. Is there anything else you would like to cover on the car? I know it's so much going on and still so early, but I know like we talked just the other day, and it's kind of taken over the internet for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it created a lot of steam, and I think people were like, "You're due." Probably out of everybody in the field, Matt was probably due for a car because your car almost started turning into it almost started turning into a retax car.
Yep.
Like everybody's like, "God, dude, this thing just go away finally."
It's back. Again. He crashed it. Thank God he crashed it. It'll never come back.
Dude, I was wondering why everybody was cheering in Canada. Like, it's gone. It's burned to the ground. But nope. you did summons the demon again, but you may be finally putting her to rest. But no, you were definitely overdue for something like this. And hopefully this will put you on the next level. And last question from me, honestly, how has the response been from companies and sponsors now that you are now running this new platform? Has it been much different than from running the S14?
So it has in sponsors that might have already been wanting to talk to me, right? They think that I'm in the S14 next year because, I mean, why wouldn't I, right? Everyone thinks that. And they begin conversations with me. And then when it gets down to the nitty gritty and we start having, further conversation, I tell them about the Corvette. Then the conversation changes completely. Oh, you're building a Corvette. Well, that just makes more sense for this and that and this and that. And even some companies that might not be domestically based for products or in aftermarket sales, they even will hear about the Corvette and they're like, oh, well. And I think it has a lot to do with trying to explain to the president of a company that we're sponsoring a 1997 Nissan 240SX.
Right.
They're like, oh, what is
half
that?
people in the world still don't know what that
know.
is. Not even
Yeah.
half, probably more than half don't even know what a
Way more than
240SX
half.
is. But literally
Absolutely.
every goddamn
Everyone.
American knows what a Corvette is.
Everyone. So then they hear Corvette
Yeah.
and they're like even more excited. So that's helped. And then even once I dropped my Instagram post with the livery and the picture of the Corvette before we got started, I had companies reaching out to me on Instagram and email saying, hey, we do Corvette shit. Send us an email back. I want to get involved. And already that's been great, and maybe those relationships might not be, a huge cash flow right off the bat. But what's very important to me is being able to ask these questions that I have no idea because it's such a Corvette thing. And like today, I literally spent the whole day talking to people about Corvette specific things, about this, about that, about all these things that I had no idea about. And, having that support in place, one, because of the chassis, and two, because of, me and taking the next step seems to be really cool.
You haven't even driven it,
By the
and
way-
you're already such a Corvette driver. You can stop
Oh,
talking
I
about
can
his
smell it.
Corvettes.
I can just smell it.
It's
And-
Yeah. And you know what the best part about a Corvette is?
And-
You can't even say Corvette without taking your wallet out.
Boom!
So,
Hey, that's $5.
yeah,
I can't wait.
Well, I think
I can't wait to see you sitting in front of your car with a lawn chair at
Dude.
the events. Like,
I hope his
Corey,
pits.
I need your outfit. The outfit that you
Dude.
and freaking Justin used to wear.
Nope,
Let's
I
get
hope-
in on it.
I hope your pits smell like Brute or some sort of like old, like
Houston,
cool, like
Houston C14.
yeah, like cool water cologne, just nonstop, just reeking out of your
Yes.
pits. No, it's interesting that you change the platform obviously to a newer model, and the responses you get is much greater. And maybe that might be a trend that people probably should start jumping on. It's getting more relevant chassis to push the sport forward, where it's not, we've had this conversation where Vaughn's out there in his Ford Mustang going against an S13, and Ford's sitting there saying, why are we paying so much money when we're going against an 89 S13? Well, it's like now it's like,
Oh,
okay.
now we got the bow tie versus the oval back. We got
Oh,
the
baby.
classic battle.
Yep.
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 And
Yep.
and you said it best, Matt. I think that should be your team slogan. And maybe it's a photo of you with your arms crossed and like your back quarter turned to the camera. Is it should say it's a Corvette thing. You wouldn't understand.
Corvette thing you wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
So
And I
good.
think
So
I hope,
good.
I hope that you've already hinted at playing this up because there's such cool marketing shit you could do for this, and I hope you take full advantage of it.
Yep.
I plan on it. That's the great thing about a Corvette. There's the whole goofy side that maybe we consider goofy, but somebody considers serious. Like we're going to be laughing at our crazy stupid team jackets, but some guy might be like, "That is bitchin'. I need one of those."
Well, do you know?
It is
I'll,
bitchin' though.
I
It's
will
like-
tell
it's-
you what
it's
Matt needs. Do you
cool.
know what Matt needs? Those like perforated
me.
fingerless gloves.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Absolutely.
god!
You know,
Yeah.
your driving gloves where have no
Like
fingers in them.
Like a wheelman
You're like a
driver.
real driver.
Yeah.
I told you I pulled up next to a dude in a
Also,
Corvette. I pulled up
also
next to a
your
dude in a
driving
Corvette.
suit,
Oh,
you know-
god damn it, Sam. Go ahead. I was gonna
Sorry,
say I pulled up
it's
next to a
tough
dude
when
in a
we're- it's tough when
Corvette, and he had gloves on, and he like pulled up next to me to the light, and he tightened them just like, all right,
Just
boy.
got ready for
Ooh.
Pulled
battle.
them down on the wrist,
Yeah.
yeah. And he pulled up
Yes.
next to me in my
It's a
E30,
Corvette
like,
thing,
come on,
Corey.
dude, like, don't stop picking on kids, dude.
Instead of
It's a
hearing
Corvette thing.
Eurobeat intensifying, it's just like Bob Seger starts playing in the
Yeah.
background.
I would also wear little
Or
tiny
Rush.
sunglasses like Morpheus from The
Rush.
Matrix.
Oh god, those are
Yeah.
the worst. But yeah, you got to do it.
Also, I like Matt Field. No, you're Matt Field. Matt Power is the cooler one. He like kind of pioneered cool race suits with like the tuxedo race suit. I think that yours maybe had a tank top and chest hair.
And flip flops.
So your race suit, yeah, your shoes look like flip flops. Your driving gloves look like perforated gloves, and your fire suit has chest hair and a wife beater.
Oh, it's so good.
Let's do it.
Yep, do it. Yep,
It's
and then
so
you always
good.
have an up tuck too. You have to get that in there too. But
Yeah.
All right, boys.
Gotta come over.
Matt.
Yeah, this is the last thing.
Yep.
I just want everybody to be aware. I am going to be releasing weekly build update videos as we
What?
go along with this chassis. Donut Media is going to be editing it and hosting it on their Facebook and their YouTube channel.
Never heard of them.
I'm shooting it basically by myself. I have a time-lapse GoPro set up, and I have a GoPro that I walk around, explain what I'm doing, drop on the floor, make jokes, do the whole thing. So be sure to watch, subscribe, stay tuned. It's going to be quite the process. Some weeks are going to be better than others, but it's going to be fun. And, you know, I hope more people go drift vets because we should just all drift vets.
Well,
Oh yeah, man.
you guys are welcome. I mean, as you know, I mean, I started that trend with a Corvette.
Paco
a few
did
years
pioneer
ago.
drifting.
Yeah.
man.
Hey,
So we
Paco
can all
did
thank
pioneer
Paco.
drifting in Mexico and
Yeah.
Corvettes. All right, Matt,
So you
thank you
guys
so
are welcome.
much. Follow Matt's
you, guys.
Instagram, MattField777. Watch Donut Media's Drift Cave,
Updates.
Drift Corvette Cave, Manhole.
Little
Matt.
drift Corvette.
All right, Field, thanks again, dude.
Manhole.com.
Little drift
Awesome, guys.
Corvette. All right,
Thanks,
bro.
Matt. Talk
See
to you
ya.
soon.
Later, boys.
Bye.
Later. All right, then let's get the next annoying guy on the phone.
Let's get the next
Yeah,
one.
and don't forget to check out Matt Field on manhole.com. It's over at manhole.com right now. If you want to see pictures of Matt Field, look, I always want to see inside that guy. You know, just get really understand what he looks like on the inside. And I think at manhole.com, show sponsor. Yeah, we should actually take a 30-second break to really thank our show sponsor, manhole.com.
Oh my God.
Corey,
Yeah, what's up, Sam?
Oh.
Who's
Oh.
look at
Oh my
this
God.
guy.
Hey,
Hey yo.
hold on, let me get all like positioned.
Yeah,
and
get
stuff.
set up.
Oh.
God,
What's-
you look so muscular over
What's your
Skype.
favorite? Oh my God.
What's going on?
All right,
yeah,
we're
what
breaking the
position are you
internet.
getting in?
Looks like Danny's about ready to light up a little spliffy spliff.
We're getting lit in here.
Get in
And
lip,
then what?
get in lip with Danny with Cheech and Chong here.
I thought that Danny only smoked dick.
He does.
that's only the weekend, Sammy boy. You know that.
How do you think he affords all his crazy drift cars?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, dude, like put the camera a little bit away from your face, dude.
He has a
like,
por-
Like that.
there you
Jesus,
go.
There you
I just
go.
want to show my 6 Shango product. That's I'm just the Shango stuff. You know
I'm
what I
looking
mean?
at that pretty mouth there, Danny. Man, you're looking
pretty solid.
fly there, dude.
Who's this? Danny Chong?
Yep.
Danny Chong.
Jeez, man.
Oh,
I'm so happy that we can see inside of his mouth, though.
Yeah, finally. Usually pay for that.
yeah.
Are you tired or why are your eyes so closed, man?
It's 8:40, man.
Dude, it's Blaze 30. It's freaking Blaze It Up o'clock, dude. Come on.
And here I am drinking red wine like a badass. And
I wonder if Danny can smurf that joint. Can you butt chug that joint,
Danny.
Danny?
Have you ever butt chugged a whole
Hold
split?
on for a second. Let me try. Hold on.
I hope you start seeing
You got the
smoke come
blur?
out of
You got the
Danny's
blur
mouth.
thing ready?
I'm sorry.
What's so funny, Paco? This is real shit, dude. This is what we deal with on a
Footer if I want to take a butt chug.
A 4-footer? Jen, light her up. We're ready to go.
Thing's a little thin.
What the hell you been doing, Danny? I saw you start posting shit for sale again on Facebook.
Yeah, what the hell? Didn't you retire? Why are you calling us?
I don't know your call. I thought you called me.
We did call you, yeah.
Oh, goddamn.
Because
You
y'all
called
it was so funny. We're like doing this big opening segment, and I hear, Danny, what the fuck? How do I work this thing in your life? It was like the best intro we probably could have on any show, so we thank you for doing that.
You gotta put in the highlights at the beginning.
Dude, so was this your first year back in Pro 2? Was this like the comeback year for you, or did you run last year? I can't remember.
No, this was it.
And how was it? Were you pumped on it or what?
I mean, I'm always a pretty honest person. I don't know. I wasn't. I was more pumped on the Shango cannabis, be the first. Like that was my thing. I honestly, I didn't know if I liked FD, and I think after this year I realized I just don't like competition side of drifting.
Oh,
Right.
what?
A, I think because I suck, but B, just I don't like the nervous. I don't like. That's like a bad thing. It's like smoking the bad strain of
Oh, here comes a plug.
stuff. Yeah.
No,
so,
I love it.
but it ruins my insides, and I don't like the stress about that. And my life, if anybody knows me outside of drifting, they know that I try to live the most stress-free, do-nothing lifestyle.
Yeah, whatever.
No, yeah, dude.
So, like the crab, the crab fishing is totally stressless.
The crab cooker.
Yeah.
Crab cooker, yeah. No, the crab business is a very well-oiled machine at this point. So I
Okay.
really, I get up at 7. I take Jack to school. I'm free from 9 o'clock to 3:30 every day, and I have nothing to do. So that's it is what it is. But I'm working on little stuff, and now that I got some time, hopefully finish some of these projects and shit.
I did FaceTime Danny the other day, and he was cleaning his trailer and his boxers in his front yard.
Wow, beautiful.
That's life. You
That's
work,
it. That's
you
the
wake
reality,
up,
man.
you take your kid to school, you probably smoke weed in the morning.
Whoa,
You
whoa,
don't
whoa.
put pants on most of the day.
Yep, don't have
put
pants on most of the day.
No pants. For
Probably Dance
like,
Dance
ever.
Revolution at noon, right before lunch, and then it's
Get a
hang
little
out.
cardio in, eat way too much, and then pick up my kid.
So you ran this your first year back, Pro 2, super fun. You didn't do bad. You qualified all rounds, right?
Yeah, I qualified everything, and just
Then
suck
what
it,
was
man.
what was the stress then? What was the competition like? You made it in the show every single time. What more do you want?
I know, but it's just the nervous. I don't know. It's just the whole thing. Like, go to qualifying and you got to run, and it's just like this whole, like, talking about it right now, I'm anxious. I just don't like that. Quick, put the gloves on. You got 2 minutes before you run. Like, it's just this whole thing. I like living at such a slower pace and just not having to answer to anybody is my main thing. So,
Dude,
I
I've
don't
been saying it for years. Drifting sucks, man.
it's it just depends. I think Formula Drift is a great avenue. I think we're a little late, and everybody is a little late coming into it to think that they're going to turn this into a Vaughn or Turk or any of these guys. I think those big times have came, and everybody's got it at this point. So either you need to think out of the box, or you got to do something different. You need to be on
Well,
YouTube.
what about-
you need to whatever.
I was gonna say we just got off the phone in the line with Matt Field, who is not necessarily a rookie by any means, but he's definitely
He's still like a
newer
bad-
than a
he's like
Turk
not a
and a
rookie.
Vaughn.
He's a bottom F
And-
tier driver for sure.
Field. I would say quite the opposite. I would say his star is rising.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't really read much about him this year. It seemed like he was, I don't know. I don't pay attention to Matt Field.
no, that's a very, very interesting point. It's you look at like the Chelseas or the Vaughns or the Forsbergs and the Turks, and they've created a lot of funding through their program, but their dudes have been doing it from day one. So what are you going to do differently than them to get a bigger program or to get as big a program, and what would that take? And
Wait, he
obviously-
quit. He's not doing any programs.
Well, you look at Danny has quit, right? But I think he is finding a different avenue where he can take advantage of. I can get a budget, but actually make it go further and give a better return rather than all spending it in competition. So it all depends on kind of what you want to do, because I could see both ways being very effective and lucrative. But if you had a $500,000 budget to do like a media tour, grid lives, fun events, create content, because I don't know if people are paying to win championships. I don't know what's what they're paying for. But what's your take on the money spent in FD? Where else can you spend it, and why are sponsors getting involved in FD, Danny?
Yeah. I mean, there's just so much cost of overhead of running that level, and frankly, I mean, anybody who's capable of winning an event, a championship, you're deep tenfold on investment to return on that. So no one's an FD to make money. That's just, I don't see it. But the outside sources that bring in the income for you to race and use that as your avenue, obviously are making people money. And it's good seeing, there's a lot of old guys that have left the business and kind of have opened doors for, dudes like Matt Field and Odie to jump on like a Team Falcon and stuff like that. So that's cool. I would like to I've always been kind of like thinking of marketing and that sort of thing. So it's never like competition hasn't given me any really return on anything. I haven't won anything. I never won anything in Pro-Am. I'm there because I want to be there and the people enjoy me there. And, we're just trying to be as real as we can. And I think I can give that same return at other outside venues. There's still things that, I want to go back to Pikes Peak. I want to do drift events. I want to do a little of everything.
Yeah, that's always been your strong point. You're always very good at marketing, at putting yourself out there and reach people. But what is your main objective? Like, I mean, obviously, put on a show, get people to follow you, but on top of that, like, what is Danny George's main objective in life? Like, where do you want to go with all this? Like, what are you trying to build?
I ain't trying to build anything. No, I just I'm done building.
Building cars no more.
Cars, and then now I just picked up a shitbox LS 400 for the Gambler and off-road tandems and whatever. But I don't know. I feel like I did it at this point. I wanted to leave my mark. I wanted to be something. I wanted to be remembered, and hopefully, it seems like I have. I've given it really my all to be there, and I think I've made a lot of friends and along the way, and it's been a great time. It's been some of the best years of my life for sure. But I want to try to market. I want to go big and do something that no one's done, and if I can't do that, then I'm not going to do it. So I'm chasing a very random potential for next year, and that would change the game, I think, for sure.
Well, that's honestly what it's going to take to leave your mark, is to do something innovative or to do something extremely different than what everybody else is doing to get that. Because we've looked at so many different ways that people are doing things, and you can look at just content and video media and stuff. And Sam, we've talked about this when we first started, and we always compare it to the Conrad Grunwald videos where he's like, I qualified 8th. Boom, car flies by. I go against Pollock in top 32. Boom, tandem clip. And it's like, everybody saw that and everybody jumped on it. Okay, I need my FD media content. And it was the same videos of recaps. And then somebody did, a different video. And everybody's like, oh, I like that style. And you have to be an innovator in that content to really be ahead of the game, to really do anything. Yep. But that's what it's going to take to kind of do that. And I see your point, Danny, on trying to do something different. And I'm totally on board with that, because that's obviously something that I like doing. Like, for me, if you ask me what my goal is to be an FD, it's like, do you know what? I want to go there. I want to put on a show. I want to entertain people. I want our pits to be one of the baddest pits where people can relate, come out, ask questions, have fun. We did fun stuff with Driftcast the past year with AM and things like that. It was awesome. And to me, that is more fun than actual. I'm not saying winning's not fun, but it's like, that's a big motivator for us to be there, and for me to be there. And I think that impacts the fans more than watching a cool car on track. Even though it may, I'm sure, like, when you were in the Miata, Danny, it's like everybody fell in love with Danny because he was this little Miata teamed up against Daigo in Long Beach, and you had this little new guy with the crab cooker down the side, going against Daigo. You were this.
Still one of the fastest cars on track.
It was that whole character thing, but it was, once again, it's something that you can play off. Now, Danny, look at the field now. Do you feel that there's anybody in the Pro 2 or Pro 1 or Pro 2 pits that can make an impact to change the sport?
No, because it's already, anybody who's came into it isn't bringing anything new that I've seen, and everybody that's been in it and doing it, they're doing a lot of the same. But, there's some standout stuff just with the content of guys with a lot of budget at the top. They're doing random videos and factory, etc. Type content. So it's out there. It's just to get to that level when you're starting to really change it up, do a bunch of new videos and content. It's budget related. How much does it cost a Lauren to fly around with you all year and pay him and make it worth his time? And now you're talking, you need 3 or 4 video guys to come up with the thing and shoot and put it all together. It's a full-time business. And so I would like to get budget for just that side of things and be able to use the racing as the avenue to at least be able to show some value beforehand and let the content after that kind of, solidify you after. But
well, hold on, let's ask.
Well, when I was filming Drift Garage with Lauren, I just had a hummingbird feeder full of sugar water, and that was his pay. Is that every day he could use his tongue straw to suck out a little bit of sugar water, and that was how he was paid back for his red camera. and Moby.
Well, see,
Right.
What did you pay, Lauren?
Obviously not little enough, I think, at this point. But
yeah, you paid him too much. You
Yeah.
wanted to go back to the sugar water.
I didn't know he. Yeah, I didn't know he was
Okay.
going to get away with.
Hold on a
that,
second.
but-
Let me ask Sam this. Sam, how much effort does the guys you work with put into media, and how much is that a priority?
Not much. We mostly are interested in cocaine and hookers. So to be honest, media is not our priority. It's pretty low on the list.
Is it
Good
really?
content.
Is it really?
Oh yeah, like girls, drugs,
No.
fast cars,
God damn it, Sam. No, seriously,
hand jobs.
because look at your.
those guys are never off their phone. They have constant that's a full-time.
Well, that's what I'm trying to ask Sam, is
never
like-
off-time job.
Yeah. No one likes their life. Everyone's unhappy.
Sam, okay, let me ask you this. Sam, if somebody were to come at you, right, there's a new driver coming in, and he goes, Sam,
Wait, who's coming at me?
let's see, Steven Spielberg.
How much? How much
that
time do I
driver's
have?
badass.
Okay, pull out a knife.
Steven Spielberg, he's
What
competing
state am
in
I in?
7 rounds of Formula Drift. He goes, Sam, I love your work. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
you're that guy
Yeah.
from the internet. I saw you spray paint your face with Mad Mike. I've seen you.
Yep. Yep.
I've seen you laying in your bed and drifted it. I've seen you do it all. How
Yep.
much is it going to cost me to have you film me at 7 rounds? I need expenses. I need flights, hotels, food, and your pay. What is that going to cost me?
I'm not allowed to do that again. Apparently,
you're
my
talking-
efforts are required elsewhere.
Yeah, you're talking.
What would you
easily-
charge?
Well,
if
you're
you,
not
if you,
allowed, but
if you were.
Many thousands around.
All right, so let's say there's another videographer named Schmiegelberg, and
that's a good
Schmiegelberg,
guy.
he goes, Sam, how much is it gonna? How much do you think I should
How about
charge for all
Sam's
this stuff?
Chinese brother?
Yeah, Sam's Chinese brother. What's his name, Danny?
I don't know. He works at
Works at
K-Sport. Voodoo.
Well,
Sam. What would you suggest your brother to charge a Formula Drift driver to pay to charge?
I would suggest expenses for travel and depending on the content and what he's making and his equipment, $1,000 to $3,000 a round.
One,
travel.
2, 3,000 a round plus travel. So okay. Does that sound fair? That sounds about right.
It's a good benchmark to
But,
start.
but he's.
It depends on
he's good, but he
deliverables,
needs
of
more.
course.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. What's deliverables, Sam? Tell us what deliverables are.
Oh, I mean, it all depends on what you're asking for. What do you want?
Do you know? I want 2 Instagram bangers, and I need a recap video.
Are they just cool looking, or are they funny? Do they have style to them, or are they just like?
Well, okay. Let me see.
like
For
cool
me,
beauty shots.
Oh my God, let's
No,
just go
so-
with somebody
no,
else.
No, no,
This
no.
media guy
I'll
is
make
very
this. No,
hard to work
because it's a
with.
great point. Because there's different. Because
Yeah.
I could see the difference. If there's direction involved, yeah, that's going to take more time. But if it's a
Yeah.
couple beauty shots where
Uh-huh.
nobody says anything and you throw it together, that's much quicker. But for me, I would want
Yep.
1 Instagram banger with
You want it to
comedy.
be funny.
Yep, I want 1 funny
Well, for you,
Instagram
it's got to
clip.
be funny. And here's the thing, Corey, that no one can do comedy except for you, me, and Johnny Carson.
Ooh.
So-
So I need.
I don't even know what Johnny Carson does. But I
He
do
was
know
a
that old
lawyer
people
for
like
O.J.
Johnny
Simpson.
Carson.
Well, hello everybody to the Johnny Carson
Yeah.
show. We have a great show tonight. We got how about
So hold on, Paco, hold on.
oh, sorry.
So Sam,
Try to
1
do my
comedy
best Johnny
Instagram
Carson
banger,
impersonation.
1 beauty shot, and then a recap video with some dialogue.
For you, Corey, $5,000.
So
Wow.
$5,000. Okay, and that's realistic.
No, I'm making that up. I don't know. It depends on when you're talking to me, and it depends on. There's so many factors.
Okay, so let's say
Corey,
3,000.
It's $1,000 just to get a video guy to an event.
Yep.
Food, everything for the weekend.
Easy.
And so now you need a video guy. Now you need a photographer because you need that. So either you're going to pay 10 dudes at the track and spend $2 or $3 grand at pictures, and then you got another video. You're 5 G's around into content if you want to do it.
Yeah,
You know
the
what I
pictures
mean?
that's
So-
inflated. I feel like you can get pictures for a lot cheaper. There's a lot of blind photographers that you can pay by the shot to say like, send me your shots and I'll give you money for them. It's not the best for them, but it works out for you, and maybe they can get out there and get that. But in regards to video, just to give you an idea, like a day rate for a red camera operator is $750 to $1,500, and that includes no edits. That's just filming, and
Okay.
editing takes a lot of time. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
you're using
consider
like a cell
all
phone
that.
camera, right, Sam? So like all that stuff you shoot. That's on an iPhone, edited
Yeah.
iPhone. So what's that? That's like 200.
Actually, only shoot with a Sidekick 2.
T-Mobile Sidekick, the Razor phone.
Yeah.
All right, so just expenses
It's
on the bare
vintage.
minimum, $750 a day. Let's say if you find a mediocre video guy, $750 a day with the rig cam, that's $2250 for the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? And then you have another $1,000 in expenses for travel. So there's $3,200, and let's say
And that
another.
includes no editing.
Oh fuck! So let's say you're literally at $5,000 a weekend with editing.
That's why Sam works with 2 guys, because everyone else can't afford them. So Sam is one of many. Just like he can go to get the cheap pictures, we just blow Sam out and go get homeboy at the local event and throw in your bangers. That's desperate for
you can go
$250.
blow Sam out if
Well,
you
no,
want.
I worked solo bolo, Danny. I did all of Von's content.
I
solo.
know. I've seen one of your videos.
One.
You need one? Thanks, man.
That's nice.
So hold on, 7 rounds, $5,000 a pop, $35,000 to have a solid media guy on your side, which is a big focus of the program. Without media, you're going to be like, once again, who's Danny George? Who again, right?
Yeah.
That's who you're going to be if you don't have a media guy. So
You're going to be Danny George?
You're going to be Danny George. Who again?
And let's just get back to the fact that putting your bangers in your recap video, you're going to get 3,000 to 10,000 people watching the shit. It's worthless. And so that's not even, you don't even want to spend your money on that. You'd rather do one stupid video that goes viral.
Yeah, my profession in that regard is kind of unfortunately in a strange purgatory, I believe. And I think at this point, your buddy, your spotter can hold up a cell phone while you do a burnout, and if it's a cool enough burnout, it'll get more views than any of the shit I've done, which we saw repeatedly throughout my tenure with Vaughn. Is I would put together a well thought out, well shot, well edited, well colored video that I spent 10 hours that day shooting and another 5 hours in the hotel room trying to make it pretty, and it will get 50,000 views, which is great. But then someone of his team just does like a shot of the car doing a burnout in the pits that lasted 7 to 10 seconds. And because it was more shareable, because it was more accessible, because of God knows any other factors, like it got 500,000 views. Like, and it's not to say that you don't need professional looking shit, because Ford Performance or another major sponsor still wants to see that professional shareable content, or at least they did. I don't know what the future is going to behold, because they now know that a cell phone burnout video can potentially get much more than a well-formulated, well-thought-out, well-edited, colored video.
My prime example of that, Sam, my example of that is that Mad Mike video on the RX-7 where he just does donuts and burnouts at the end of an event. And that video on YouTube's worth it's at 9.5 million views. And it's literally some dude with a handheld. And
because it's special, though. It's crazy because that car is making such insane noises and fireballs, and it's something you don't see. I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and they're shooting it on
it's special,
$300 piece of equipment, though. You know what I mean? And the dude probably just uploaded.
It's not even Mad Mike's crew shooting it.
Right.
Like, that's the thing. It doesn't even matter. Why pay somebody? I'd rather have a sick pit and shit that people want to be involved in, and they're going to share and post it all on their own. And then you just wipe out that whole thing, and then just go make videos like with some real background and put some like time into it and make them, what
you got to do is you got to get on track. You got to do something cool, like flip your car over, and then people are going to take photos of it. They're going to take videos, and people are going to be like, "Look at this guy with this flipped over car."
Sam,
who won Pro 2? Nobody even remembers. They remember me rolling the car though.
It's like I thought you said it wasn't a rolling. It was a flip, half flip, back kick flip. What do you call it?
Flip.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a flip. It's not a roll.
Yeah.
But that speaks honest truth, and we talk about that plenty of times. It's like, do you remember when Chelsea DeNofa crashed into Tyler McQuarrie in Florida, right? Everybody remembers that, but can you tell me who won that event? No, it's
Tyler McQuarrie.
Or what about go back to the year when Vaughn jumped Osbo? Do you guys remember that event in Atlanta, or who won that? No, but you remember that. Why? Because it's that one moment that you're just like, holy shit.
The best content is natural, unique, and like seat of the pants. You know what I mean? Like that's what is viral, because you're not planning it. When you put too much production, almost it's like you're forcing the views instead of just the random stupid video that gets shared all the place because it's just a good clip. Like it just there's no answer to how to make viral videos.
So I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat right now. I'm gonna ask you right now: did you plan to roll over the BMW or not?
Yes, inside job.
Inside job,
it
fake
was-
news.
Yeah, a VP can't melt chassis beams. Right?
Nope.
You get it? But
No, I got it.
Texas
I'll be here all
can't
week.
build firewalls, maybe.
How was the response when you flipped your car?
It was good. I mean, had a lot of texts and DMs and shit of asking if everything was okay, but it ended. I still can't believe nobody. That here you go. Where's a good video of that? It's not even accessible because no one's even shooting Pro 2. There's nobody like, you know what I mean?
Well,
I had like one bad picture from like Dave from Stance up in the spotter's booth, and as soon as I flipped,
Ryan Sage has
not
the best
looking.
video of it.
Right, and you still can't see anything. But there's no pictures of it like in motion. There's nothing.
Yeah, where was your media guy?
I didn't have one.
Couldn't afford
see,
one.
There you go.
Couldn't
But
afford $35,000 for one.
Didn't you?
Well, yeah, he was overeating lunch because I was starving him because I didn't have the budget. You know, I couldn't pay for Sam, so you know, my guy was trying to get the Zoom figured out.
Did you get an invite from Travis Pastrana to join Nitro Circus after that?
No, couple other deals.
I couldn't afford Sam, so my guy was leeching lunch off the Nexon rig.
Right?
Well, to be fair, I did miss Vaughn's hitting the wall last year for almost the same reasons, though. Like, you can't shoot 100% of the time, and I think it was right at the end of practice, was it not?
Hold on, Sam. On that topic, I was texting Sam because this is when we were running text for the first time. I was like, "Oh, dude, Sam, I can't wait to get some photos." Sam's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go out there and get some videos." You weren't even at the track yet. Didn't get any videos. He's like, "Sorry, man, I didn't
For
make
what?
it to when you were supposed to get some video of me on track during practice in Pro 2."
Well, I had planned to shoot you during the event, not for practice.
Wow.
And Corey, I don't shoot.
You should.
I don't shoot people that qualify 17th.
You should have known
Oh,
better,
Sam, come on, dude.
You should have known better that he wasn't gonna make the event.
I
I
wasn't
didn't
trying to
assume
make
that you were going to qualify, Corey, and
Sam,
I was
no.
going to shoot you the main
you were
competition.
14 events in. You didn't realize you didn't make it past practice yet.
Sam, here's the thing is, okay, so we're talking about media and marketing, right? I am the guy that's known for 17th and 33rd. What would happen if I didn't follow that trend? It would be unmarketable. I sell the 17th and 33rd. That's why I keep doing it.
That's what you sold the sponsors, and that's what you delivered.
I delivered, right?
I mean, it was rude of me to expect otherwise, and I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Under promise, over deliver.
Bang. News from Danny George.
No.
Yeah.
Fake
Over
news.
promise, under deliver.
So we're going to be on the spaceship, right? We're going to load this BMW up. We're going to launch it to Uranus. Once we get there, we're going to unload the car. I'm going to flip it on the moon, and I'm going to fly back. That's only $35,000 a season.
And that would get more action than anything else you have.
Yep, but yeah, it's crazy where drifting is going nowadays, though, because that's literally what it's coming down to. It's a media
I think
marketing battle.
YouTube's going to be the next. I'm waiting for one of the YouTube star guys to come into Pro 2 or something and like bring that. We did the street driven tour.
Yep.
And there was some kid that is a YouTube guy with decent amount of followers, and just the people like everywhere he went, there was just like people just like following him and shit. It was following him, like, because he's filming the whole time. So then everybody wants to be in the background of your video. So they can say they were
I agree with you, Danny. I see that
And
happening
it was
too.
just like,
I
oh
agree.
my God, I could never go around with the camera looking like that. I would drive myself insane.
I hate that shit.
Yeah,
But Sam, that's what's going to happen. It's literally going to happen.
Yeah, but
it is.
Yeah.
Here's my theory with YouTube drifters. I think it's gonna be similar to what happened to Nick Hogan.
No, it won't. No.
Well,
okay. Let me hear yours and I'll argue.
Yeah.
Go.
What I mean with that is that you have this person who's got a lot of followers. Is gonna get in there and is gonna get eaten alive, and he's gonna like all his followers are gonna like, oh shit, I guess.
Yeah, there's no reason for them to put themselves at risk like that.
well, here- but
because they can talk the talk, but then if they actually have to show proven results, then
Yeah, but if
But I don't think-
you're like a humble guy going into it with knowing like, hey, I'm not the best. I'm going like.
I agree,
You have
Danny.
to be
That's
real.
exactly
I
where
mean,
I was
that
going to
was
go.
that was my entire fucking brand, and the only reason why I've got my humble 30,000 subscribers on YouTube to begin with, and why I'm here today was not being an asshole. So, I mean, I guess. But then that is ironic because then I went out and then became an asshole for the
Dude,
interview
for
shows.
real.
What have I done?
For real.
But that's exactly what my argument was going to be. And Nick Hogan was a different thing because he had crashed his
He's a
car and killed his
celebrity.
friends.
But
and-
that was before.
No,
I mean that was way
but,
after.
No, but that was still in his automotive peak. Is he
Yeah.
did all these terrible things, what caused him to demise, where he vanished off the face of the earth. But you look at like Adam LZ and these other YouTube drift guys. Do you know what they're going to sell? Hey, I'm going to run FD this year. Any video I make is going to get 1 million views, and I plan on doing
Boom.
50 videos through
doesn't
FD. So there's
matter.
50 million
It's all
views.
about the
Yeah.
And do you know what I'm going to
content.
do? Is if I suck, do you know what I'm going to sell? Do you know what? This is more overwhelming than anything I've ever gone into, but I'm going to do better next year, and I'm
But
going to
that's
try
what
to
I'm
do
saying.
better.
Why
And that's
would
how
you-
they sell that.
Why would you even go into pro if you're already making these millions of views with like risking that you're gonna at least lose some of your
You won't. You won't because
I'm-
people
But
are
wh-
people
but
are going to
where'd you
tune in.
go?
People are going to tune in to
Yeah, I
watch
mean,
his
as long as you're
struggle.
real.
They're going to tune in to watch
As
the
long as
drama.
you're real about it.
Yeah, they're going to tune in,
I think
watch
that'd be
the
really
struggle.
cool. I wish.
Go ahead, Sam. Sorry.
I mean, I wish that one of those dudes would do that then, because it could be pretty cool to actually see that perspective of the struggle from one of these popular YouTube personalities that I obviously
How-
don't understand.
There's a
How
team
long
going to
can
pro
they
too.
go with not running, like not just going to fun events? How long can an Adam LZ just go by drifting on videos? He needs to like escalate. His show gets, it just gets too similar. So it's like that's the next step, and you get people involved now. They're all hyped, and you're the underdog going into the. You play it right, and if you have any marketing sense, then you use all those weaknesses and you turn those into the positives, and that's an easy maker right there.
Something that I was thinking about when we were talking about this is, you remember Dye's championship year? He was spending the whole year doing that show Behind the Smoke, and that was hugely successful, wasn't it?
I don't know. I didn't watch it very much because it was actually boring for me.
It was different, but for YouTube back then, it was fairly successful. GT channel was kind of like on his hype, like how to say it, like a.
Well, and that was before the like swing that it is.
Yeah,
now.
that was
Yeah.
before
That's
like
more
the social
acceptable.
media
That was-
thing. Like
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
like, oh, we got a new YouTube channel. It was like, what? I can watch a 14-minute video of Dye driving in Long Beach.
Yeah.
Like,
and Dye was the best part. Dye and like just how weird, like how weird he in Japan he is. He's just that made that show. There was some funny stuff. I didn't watch the whole
Yeah.
thing.
But do you know what? That's kind of going back to the YouTubers getting into drifting or trying to go professional. It's like, if you have a dude that can make a YouTube video that's 20 minutes long and you have 1.5 million people watching that, how's that going to affect the other drivers in FD in their media marketing program? How are they going to be able to keep up with that? How are they going to be able to keep up with that if
Well,
that's what happens?
But at the same time, they get some of that coverage from being on their video. So
Oh, Paco, but it's such a small amount.
I know. But
So
I mean,
what am I
at
going to
least-
say? Hey guys, I'm in Adam LZ's video at 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
No. But here's the thing, like like for example, like Adam LZ goes, I just lost competition against this guy, blah blah. He did great, like a lot of his followers might like, oh, let me look into
Think
this
simpler
guy
than that.
I
How do
never
I sell
heard.
that to 2F Performance, right? So I'm going after you. Hey, what's your media pack? Well, I was in a YouTube video.
I'm not talking about at that moment.
Well, that's
I'm
the
just
whole-
talking about eventually, like with the time. Like a lot of people who watches Adam LZ or other YouTube drifters, they don't know anything about professional drifting. They don't know who drives the professional drifting. And maybe if one of these guys goes on and drives and there showcases some of the drivers. I mean, when Caleb Quangback was here in Phoenix, he gave a shout out to a lot of the drivers who were here local in Phoenix. And fair enough, they got a lot of new followers on their YouTube channel just because of that tiny little shout out. So on
But
a
here's-
professional level, they might start getting...
Do any of you watch any of these online car drifter guys like that?
I don't.
Do you watch
Absolutely
their
not.
episodes?
No.
I only watch Caleb. The other guys,
Yeah.
I mean, I
And are you religious
I-
on that? Do you watch all the episodes?
every now and then. I mean, not religious, definitely not. I just don't have that much time.
Paco's
but-
extremely religious.
yeah,
Yeah, he is,
the
right?
most. But like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I gave LZ a chance. I personally didn't like his how he makes his videos. There's a couple other YouTubers that I tried. I didn't really enjoy. I was okay with Caleb. Like I started watching him when he was kind of like starting, so I kind of like grew up on me. But other than that, I mean, I personally don't like it. But that doesn't mean that.
But so here's
there's nothing wrong with
this
them.
is what we're discussing though, Paco, is how are we going to sell media and marketing to potential sponsors in the series if you're going up against a guy like that, right?
Yeah.
How do you compete with that if you're having somebody come in that has such a powerful media marketing campaign just because they have a channel built up?
Can you say that you beat him?
The different.
No, I don't think that matters.
It's a
though.
different market.
It's a different market.
It's a different. It's different sponsors. A different market.
You need sponsorship outside of the circle of these people, like, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't the clutch guy that doesn't. You don't chase these same guys. You use that. These guys could go and get bigger sponsors than anybody else with 50,000 followers. Like, it just. You have more creative content. There is value in followers. There's value in all that. I mean, I don't know if any of you have watched Aaron Losey from Lone Star Drift's YouTube videos, the recent ones. Super good and explaining and going through this whole almost same chat about this stuff. But you know, it's crazy.
There's definitely an appeal on making videos where you're literally talking to the camera and being thorough and explaining. And it's funny, like these most of these blog videos are 20 minutes long, 15 to 20 minutes long, and people watches that. So people definitely want to feel like they're being talked to, regardless of like, I mean, dude, you saw like Corey did a little blog when we were heading to, what was that, Corey?
Nitto Enthusiast Day.
Enthusiast Day. I know Corey released it a little later, but it did good. I mean, like, people was like, oh shit, yeah, let's do more of these. We want to watch more of these behind the scenes. Didn't you, Danny? Weren't you doing like a Danny and Friends thing a couple years ago before you retired for the first time?
Yeah, right. I never actually retired. I don't think that first time. So I think I just didn't come back because I had no money.
That's the same.
Yeah, same kind of thing. But I never officially did anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was, I got Lauren, who is one of the best, amazing videographers, editors, whatever. He's got incredible skill. He's not the best. To me, he's the best because I know him personally. But
yeah, he's swell.
I got him early on before he got big. So it's like you need somebody to go
before
along.
Started doing such prestigious shows as Drift Garage, you know.
Yeah, I mean.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that was, you know, a lucky thing where I got him early enough and I could pay him a little bit of money plus take care of him, and it made it worth his while. But our videos did pretty good for not having anything, and we weren't really like, but it was Formula Drift recap videos almost and coming up to it type of thing. So we never really tried that like real all the time footage. I want to do it. I can't fucking pull my camera to do that and walk around with this camera. I look like an idiot. I think it just looks ridiculous.
But I mean, you still manage to grab people's attention. Like, you know, the way you approach the public with your you know, like, you support me, you get a shirt, you get a photo on the car. It's very original, very unique way of doing it. And
yeah, well, that brings up a good point because Danny was one of the first guys that went racing on crowdsourcing.
Yep.
That was a marketing idea.
The first and only guy, right?
Well, only for FD, but there's been some like other shit out there, but I think that was probably one of the first, like, at least in our circle, that people knew about, and that kind of spawned off a lot of, like, help me build my drift car. I mean, I doubt that was it, but, you know, it definitely opened up some doors, and that's like the thing. I feel like I left my mark there. I had an opportunity to do Shango Cannabis, and that was like no brainer, so I had to go there and do that.
That's literally a no-brainer.
Right?
See what I did?
No, it's all medical stuff, man.
Yeah,
helps people. It's the best medicine in the world.
I have chronic back pain.
Exactly. Yeah, I see what you did there. But so now I want to do something a little different, and I got some ideas. I'm gonna change it up. I know Matt Field just released all of his Corvette news and all that stuff. But
what are you gonna do about that, huh? What are you gonna do about that Corvette, Danny?
Well, if you've seen, the BMW is for sale for a measly $35,000 for the first buyer.
Hashtag never been drifted.
Never been drifted.
Hashtag never been flipped.
Nothing, all that stuff. So I'm going to try to sell that and try a different approach next year and do something different.
Drum roll. So. Drum roll. Corey, give us a drum roll.
Is that a starter problem?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's not like the engine.
No
couldn't start.
compression. It was a starter with no compression.
Okay,
So okay, let's say
I'm
you
gonna
sell your
change that.
BMW. What are you gonna do?
hit us.
I want to drive a Porsche.
What? I mean, okay. First of
No
all,
one's ever done that in Formula Drift.
Sort
other than Tyler McQuarrie.
yeah, but I think it would be. I just have a different outlook, and going forward, I think that platform and that car itself would pay itself in just coverage of being a 911 on track. So
Oh, 911.
So it's gonna be a 911.
Because I was thinking more of a 918.
Or
Sorry, I'm
944.
944s, yeah, 928s. It would be cool, but like, Porsche's never going to come around and mention that, like you're out there in some beater 80s. I mean, I guess it's what a 240 is, but
So
I
you
wanna
want
try
to
to
do
do,
911 then?
I
Newer.
want to force Porsche to notice me and get some
Senpai.
treatment over there. So see if we can turn anything.
Did
So-
you listen to
But
our
you
episode
seriously,
with Mike Essa?
are you gonna?
George?
What?
We actually talked about like European manufacturers, and he kind of gave his opinion on how they view drifting and drifting their cars. I don't know if you heard that episode or not. It was like I think it was an episode
With Michael
two.
Essa,
Mike Essa.
last episode.
Oh yeah, I remember what happened. I mean, I didn't listen to that episode honestly, but I remember him going through some issues on, displaying it as a BMW and that sort of thing. So
I would say hit him up if you get a chance, and maybe pick his brain a little bit on about approaching the German brands.
yeah, and it's not even really about like getting support. I'm sure Porsche is never going to give me $1, but
Well, think about it. You're a very marketable guy. You're German. You're well built. You are a great spokesmodel
pretty
for
much
the
the
brand.
perfect Aryan
You're the
race.
perfect Porsche
He's
spokesmodel,
tall,
so I could see why
super fast.
He's
Yeah,
tall,
white supremacist.
blonde-haired, blue-eyed.
Jeez,
smoke
Paco,
tons of
really?
drugs. So you know what I mean. Like you're perfect for it.
There's a bunch of fake news going on in that room.
You're like alt-right, white supremacist.
Paco,
Neo-Nazi, right?
God,
Sorry, we're
Yeah.
getting political here.
just Paco just hammering down on you. No, but the thing is, that you do it because you'd
Just
want to do
'cause
it.
Danny George is holding on to a tiki torch right now doesn't mean that he's a white supremacist. Okay, he's got his
Right.
hair slicked back, holding a tiki torch.
I don't know how
Right.
far down this rabbit hole we want to go, but
I
can
don't dig
definitely
into
go
it
for a
because
while.
I'm going to eject if you do. No, but the thing is, the whole idea is you're going to a Porsche because that's ultimately just what you want to do, and I think that's what makes you so creative and so unique is because it's about what you want to do, and you don't really care about anything else. You're doing it about your product. So it's like if Porsche comes on, cool. If they don't, screw them because it doesn't matter because it's what I want to do. It's not like, hey guys, I'm running top level Formula Drift. I need budget for this BMW, and they're like, no, go pound sand. It's not like you're after anything other than just having a good time with your car. Is that right? Was that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of the automotive sponsorship side and see if I can use my brains in some marketing sense and attract them without having to compete or any of that sort of thing. So I just want to be like a media outlet, and I got a bunch of good ideas that should be no-brainers that get a lot of views, and I'm going to try to chase that, I think. So
I think that's going to be super exciting.
You've already broken into marijuana. I'd say the next thing is probably porn and drifting. So
Yeah, I
maybe
don't know.
you should just
I don't know. That's
Maybe
probably a little aggressive.
maybe just finger blast some broads in the back seat of a
Jeez.
BMW or whatever. There's probably already a YouTube series about that. To be fair.
Well, I mean, it's in a Porsche now, so I'm trying to go Porsche, try to be a little
that's right.
easy, make some good videos with some good
Well-
music.
I like that because Matt Field's gonna go on this whole like Corvette campaign with all the Corvette imagery, and Danny can go Porsche campaign with all this. What's the Porsche driver look like?
Me.
You.
Blonde
look-
hair, blue eyes. What does he look like, Paco? You're seem like you know about all this stuff.
Can
These
I
Germans.
can I say it?
Oh God, this
Oh,
this
God.
is gonna
No,
go.
no.
This is gonna go
No.
rated R real fast.
Okay, no, I don't want to be banned from the country.
Well, look at this. Look at the value. Okay, Sam, let's look at the value of having cool car content. Do you think Turk has got more content off the Ferrari 4586 than he has in drifting? Or would he got more content out of drifting
No.
than his 4586?
No one even cares about that shit. No one's even seen that.
What's that?
458, 48, whatever the stupid.
458 what? You know?
Yeah.
He's
Who cares?
obviously
But
gotten many
thing's
more
paid for
millions
itself.
off that than anything.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay,
but that's the point, right, Danny? Is like
Zero drifting.
you look at that particular car itself. You look at that content. He was able to generate more
But
content.
how do you recreate that?
But how do you I don't think well, how does everybody try to recreate these crazy Gymkhana videos, or you look at like the hill climb drift videos, or Kenny Moen did the hill climb in his Supra in like 2010. Now everybody's doing crazy hill climb videos of them drifting. It's like there's ways of doing it and replicating it, just finding a different car, a different course, or whatever people appeal to. Maybe the Porsche guys are more appealed to Danny than watching the 4586 or whatever it is. I think each market is definitely open, but it's being able to create that something or that product that people can relate to. Obviously, Turk's
building
cars.
a
Right. I mean, it has to be the right time, the right place. It has to be culturally right. It has to hit all the right buttons on what people want to see. It has to be released correctly. It has to have like the unknowable that for some reason people latch onto. Like there's so many variables that are unfortunately not easy to replicate.
2017 marijuana sponsorship, Danny George Shango. There you go. That's how that happened.
Boom.
Well, you spend 150 grand and going FD, or you spend 150 grand on getting a producer and video guys and renting courses, and a lot of people ask how they replicate it, but it happens quite a bit. I think not particular in drifting because it's still young, and people are still generating new content, but I think it's super doable. Obviously, Ken Block was able to do it for 9 episodes now, Gymkhana, where it's literally the same thing, just different locations. But they obviously have a method to how they produce that content to make it those 4 or 5 items.
Done. God, those videos are so done.
But his
Stop
last
it
Gymkhana that he
already.
just did was at 17 million views on YouTube. So people
Who
are still
cares?
watching
He's
it.
spending
People are still
huge
watching
money
it.
to make those videos. I know, but just oh man, I don't know. It's just there's a time when you just need to be done, and enough is enough. That's enough. Enough.
People are still watching them, though. I mean, I agree with you to some extent that people are still watching them.
I know.
We have a username, Ken Block, commenting saying, "I'm not done. Shut the fuck up."
Oh,
You guys, between every video you've ever made, guys, I'm reading the rest of this comment. He said, every single video of every one of you guys combined is less than 0.01 of 1% of the Gymkhana's views.
Yeah.
And as long as that is true, and it is true that I guess we have shit all to say about any of the Gymkhana videos.
well,
they still-
hey, Sam, my donut video that I did with Donut still is the most viewed video on their channel, and it's at like 5 million on YouTube.
Boom.
And that
my Turk Ferrari street car is at like 7 million. I worked at the Portland Mountain Road one. That one actually became more popular than the Gymkhana, and it was released a couple days before. And I imagine it is 1/15 the budget. But it's still
that's
less
true.
than
See,
the Gymkhana
that's
series
the
as
thing
a
is
whole.
how
What's
can
the
you?
video of that Lamborghini? What's the grannies in the Lamborghini, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the cost to get that many views for that dollar by just being creative versus like somebody who's going to spend in private roads, and you know what I mean?
That's the thing is now it's how do you extend that dollar to make it even more valuable? That's the trick.
Yep.
That's the tricky thing is how can you do it now on a budget instead of spending $200,000 on a production, right? You're not how can you do that? So that's creative. No, but
entrepreneur.
that's it's interesting conversation because we always talk about this quite a bit, but there's always ways to kind of innovate things. It's like now how do you get the budget to be able to do something like that? Because that's kind of where the sport is going. It's like how are people going to know of you if there's no content to make you relevant? You know what I mean? It's how do you know it exists if you're not there? So that's why we talk about media marketing being the most important thing.
How do you go into Pro 2 with not already content? Like
That's a great point. That's a great point.
You have to have it going forward because all these people that showed up this year, I'm like, who? Like, I don't know any of these people. I've never even heard about them. I'm not like in a big circle or anything, but like that, that's the truth is I didn't know half of the people that were sitting next to me. I've never heard of them.
Corey has more content. He barely showed at one round.
But it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
And I'm not saying it making fun. I mean, I'm actually saying it on a good guy. Like a lot of the Pro 2 people needs to step up.
I agree.
Yep.
But that's the point is we are still able to create content off of what we were, and that's ultimately what I want to be selling is the content because that's something you can guarantee. You can't guarantee a win, but you can guarantee, hey, we're going to put out a video. We're gonna get you some content. We're gonna get you some videos. We're gonna do a Q&A. We're gonna do.
Here's the other double-edged sword to that is you're going to Pro 2, so you don't really have people sponsoring you, so you don't really have the need to give them a return. So why you have a video guy, coming into it when there's not going there's no market, so it kind of grows together as you enter the series. So it's like that's a hard spot to be in, honestly.
Yeah, think about that. Think about
It's
stepping.
family money.
Yeah, well,
everybody's family money. So what are you going to do? You're going to make thank you mom and dad videos, like, you know what I mean?
Fuck yeah. That'd be a sweet fucking YouTube series. It's called Thank You Mom and Dad. And it's all these fucking little bastards that act like these like expensive cars that they're driving around and reviewing are theirs.
Getting spoiled right.
And
that would be a good.
And the series is just called Thank You Mom and Dad, and it's just hundreds and hundreds of episodes of them thanking their parents. I love it.
Okay.
And that would probably get a really good, get a lot of views maybe.
Yeah, it's like Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, but just shitty rich kids.
But just sincerely thanking mom and dad.
Right.
Well, that's one thing that I've talked about with like Nick at Vegas Drift and a couple other people is like, hey man, what are you doing to breed these guys to get into Formula Drift? Because competition does matter to some degree, but how are you going to make yourself relevant in his Pro-Am or ranks below that, doing anything to breed a driver to be prepared for Pro 2 and Pro 1? Because at the end of the day, we talked about this before. People going to Pro 2 is like, man, Formula Drift did not do any content for me. I didn't get my 1 million followers. I didn't get shit, so I'm done. I'm quit because I have no money. It's like, whose fault is that?
Yeah, because mom and dad aren't going to keep. I mean, how many years are parents? Who's paying for this? How do you pay 30 G's to go Pro 2 on the cheap end with a normal job, with a car build, with bills? There's no budget. Sponsors aren't giving you cash money when you're going into Pro 2 at a Pro-Am. Like, it's family money. That's all there is to it. Like, unless you're trust fund baby, maybe get a little insider, but it's personal spending money, and they go in maybe hoping that they're going to land that big sponsor. But if you ain't chasing it hard and harder than everybody else, then how are you going to grab that?
Yeah. No,
we are like every other form of racing, but I mean, that's just kind of the way that racing has always kind of been.
I think about that quite a bit, because you can look at people who are obviously financially successful and have tons of money through family or whatever it is. The thing about them is they can guarantee, it's like, hey, do you know what? Even look at off-road trucks like Lucas, short course off-road. Some of the most successful families run that, and it's because they can afford to do that. And then they get a Monster or Rockstar or K&N or a huge sponsor, but they're only giving them a small portion of what they're actually spending. The thing is like
unreal amounts.
Yeah, so they're spending, a lot of these teams are spending $500,000 to be there out of pocket, and then, these other companies will come in. We'll give you $50,000 for a title sponsor. And like, well, shoot, we're making our money back. Take the whole trailer too while you're at it. But the thing is, right, it's easy to invest into somebody like that because they're guaranteed that they're going to be there no matter what. If you're there or not, you're going to be there.
Money.
Yeah, so money, and so that's the advantage that some of those people have is like, dude, we're doing this with or without you, and we'll give you a big spot for nothing. Give us $60,000, make us some of our money back. We're going to be at these 10 events. Come or not, doesn't matter. See you later. We're going. That's the advantage they have. When somebody like you or myself who don't have that resource, we've went through sponsors and made our media and tried to find a way to get a value. It's like, hey, man, I may not be able to do this without you. Like, I'm going to have to cancel this if we can't do this. So let's figure out how we can make it valuable for both of us so we can be there together. That's the difference of our partnership.
Boy, I'm rich as fuck. How much money do you need?
Oh, did we just hang up on Sam? Because he deserved it. Danny's still there at least.
Hell yeah. We don't need Sam.
No, but doesn't that make sense though?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like you got to be able to sustain long enough. How long can you sustain until big sponsors come into that point where you can start bringing in the money?
Right.
I mean, I don't know detail. I know some details about some drivers, but I wouldn't want to air it. But, people that look successful are still spending a shit ton of money outside of that, what's coming in, for sure.
Yeah.
And how long do you want to do that? Every 2 years, that's a house. You don't even live in a house. You don't even own a house yet. And you're racing still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's,
What's that?
Speaking
Sam?
of money, I realize what time it is, and I have to actually go make some money in a few short hours in the morning by directing these shows down here. So I'm going to get going. You guys should definitely get into the questions and keep talking about the good fight.
Hey,
But I'm going to get going for now.
Yep. Hey Sam, what do we? How much do we charge you for that consulting and how to end the show? How much do you need for that?
I'll send my invoice to you people over lunch.
Yeah, we have people for that. Please send our
Yeah,
people.
I'll have my people contact your people,
Yeah.
and we'll go from there.
All right,
But
Sam.
good
We'll
talking to you, Daniel,
see ya.
and I'll catch you guys on the flippity.
All right, Sam. Good night. Sam's once again calling in from Connecticut, Singapore. He's on the other side of the world. So good night, Sam. We'll see you later.
Bye.
All right, now let's get back to Danny Yorgi.
Bye.
Before we go,
Thank God he's off the fucking phone.
God,
Sam.
Sam?
I can't tell you the price of media. Sam, you're a media guy that's been FD for 4 years. You can tell us the price. Bull, 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 bull.
I don't know how to take photos.
God, I would.
Well, then he's going to look bad about all his realistic funding that he's overcharging everybody else and crazy money. So it's going to make him look horrible.
Yeah, if Sam was here, I'd just speed bag him in the
tell them,
sack.
Daniel. You tell them.
Yeah,
Well, the thing is like me and Danny, we started at the same exact time, and we've always talked about this since 2010 or 11 when we first started doing this. And between me and you, we literally done everything we can out of our own resources that we came up with. And the thing is like, how can we get better media? And that's what allowed us to continue to get to this point now. It wasn't based off of money that we have in our pocket. It's what products can we create to make it valuable for investors to get involved with.
Yep.
There's ways to do it. It is just very difficult. So when Danny tells me, hey, I want to build a Porsche and I want to go do these other events, I'm like, that's what it takes.
Yeah.
I need to get Shango on board and stir up the internet. That's what it takes.
Yep.
Right? That is literally what it takes to do this type of stuff. Because if you're going to say, do you know what? And we talk about this, and SEMA's next week. Dude, Danny, when we go to SEMA, what do the lines look like at tire manufacturers? What do the lines look at like at these other sponsors that are already involved in the series? I remember walking up to a tire sponsor one year, and there was literally 8 drivers in line, like
Ready.
in a single file line with their proposals in hand, and they're like, I'm going to go in and seal the deal. And it's like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't even carry around proposals anymore just because I don't want to be that guy standing in line looking like I'm a cow going into like a slaughter zone. I'm going to catch this guy. I'm going to call him. I'm going to create a relationship with these guys. I'm going to text them in the middle of the night. Hey, what's going on? I'm not asking for anything. What are you doing this weekend? I want to be in town. It's like these relationships are more valued than being the guy that says, hey, I got a new Buick Reatta outside that I'm competing in FD. Let's throw a sticker on it. It's beyond that.
Yeah, well, if you're going to SEMA with a proposal trying to land a sponsor you've never talked to before, you're doing it all wrong. You need to be already connected, and that is the opportunity to meet with these people finally or finalize a deal. I know a lot of like tire manufacturer stuff gets signed at SEMA. There's a lot of deals signed at SEMA, and that's because they've had these deals working forever, and now they actually have contracts in front of the 2 people that matter, and they're signing. And so that's a whole thing, and it's just anybody going to SEMA to look for a sponsor, you're doing it wrong. So save yourself and not.
Yeah, I'll tell you this: it took me at least 3 to 4 years to actually get any type of return financially out of a sponsorship. It's very, very rare.
Like straight cash money. That's a hard one. Did you? I don't know for you, but I tried like just straight cold sending my proposal like the first 2 years at all kinds of random ass companies. Nothing ever, and it was like being at the events, meeting Paul from at the time Hankook, now Nexon, and it was just one of those things where you just like chat and you get to know somebody and you build this super natural friendship and just thing going on between you in this relationship, and then that turns into something, and that's been my best support. I mean, these people that you meet like that, those are the people that stand with you till the end or whatever. But
okay, here's an example.
It's a very natural thing.
Well, here's a prime example, Danny. All right, let's look at the SEMA after parties 2 years ago when he dressed up as Mini Seagull and me and Dustin dressed up, right? That was the
Right.
night I met Rockabunny. We were at a Tao nightclub. I think that's where we were.
I got roofied there.
You got roofied that night.
Oh yeah.
I got
Danny-
roofied at Tao.
So we went to Town nightclub, and I've never met
Sure.
Kay Mira before this, right? But we were dressed up. We were having a good time. I met him in the after party, right? And he started laughing, and we started taking pictures all together, and everybody was having a great time. My relationship started with Rockabunny just at an after party where we were laughing, drinking, enjoying our company.
And now you got
And-
Rocket Bunny, all this.
Now,
everything.
3 weeks after
Rocket
that,
Bunny
he would send me
underwear.
messages like, I can't wait to go back to SEMA. And it's like, me neither. I had such a good time. And that's how our relationship started. It was very organic. It wasn't me forcing,
Yep.
like, hey, I got a 240 outside. Let's develop a new kid. It was like, no, we literally just had a good time as friends, and we just met each other. We had a few drinks. We partied, took pictures. And then it was like, hey, what are you guys doing? I like what you're doing. This is fun stuff. And then it eventually turned into something. But I'll tell you what, going to SEMA, it's like outside of maybe getting some products and stuff, it was very difficult. It took 3 to 4 years for me personally.
What Corey's trying to say is that there's no better way to form drifting relationships than over a lap dance in Vegas.
Well, do you know what I'm saying? I'll tell you this right now. This is what I will say.
Oh.
Is the real relationships happen at the after parties at these events. That's where I believe the real relationship starts. When you can catch a dude, tie undone, sitting there just shooting the shits, that's when it matters.
You guys who really can hang out at the parties are the ones that get the best deals, huh?
It's not that. It's just you want to invest into somebody that you can relate to and communicate with, and you're on the same page with. If you're just
And that's the most natural scene ever. And it's kind of like, hey, what's your name? And it's like, oh, I'm Bill from whatever clutch company. You're like, no shit. And they're like, yeah, I've seen you around, blah, blah, blah. And then
it's
you got the email, the text, whatever. And then it just built, boom.
Yeah.
And now you're into that. So, yeah, that's definitely, there's been some stuff happening definitely after SEMA for sure.
No,
It's
that-
always a good spot.
And this is definitely not trying to sound like, no, this is how you sweet talk sponsors or anything. No, because like this really, I mean, we became good friends with Chris from AM.
Right.
You know, it's not like, oh, this is the guy who approached from AM. Not anymore, you know. It's just like, this is our dude. Like we're constantly talking and sharing stuff and you know, we're hanging out and having dinner, not because of a financial interest. Like it actually becomes a good relationship. And from that, I think everything else becomes very good. I would imagine, I mean, you build a very solid relationship with Shengo at this point?
Yeah, that was it's been amazing of just being able to have that opportunity to walk into the man that makes the decision, and it's, you know, the bullshit stops at that point. And I went into that not being a friend, and that was a total random friend of a friend. Jen started working there, and it all just kind of like fell into place.
Yeah.
So it was very random. I definitely wasn't planning on that at any point, but as soon as Jen started working there, I was like, well, why don't we just at least pitch this idea? And on paper, it sounds, you know, really good. So it made a lot of sense.
Jen, for once again saving Danny's sorry ass.
Right? She says,
hi, Jen. Yep,
Yeah.
you did it.
yeah, right. We made it.
Yeah.
We made it. But yeah, no, that's the thing. We could talk about this stuff forever.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that it once you get in there and you experience it once or twice, and that's trial and error. I can't tell you how many times I walked into a company's booth and be like, "Hey guys, my name is Corey Hosford. I'm competing in Formula Drift," and
that how
they
you
kick
sound when
me
you-
out,
when you
right?
do-
And I'm like, you know what? This is just not effective anymore. And that's the thing, is it's all trial and error. What works best for you?
Yeah.
And it happens, you know. For myself, I tried one avenue, didn't work. I'll try another one. But if you keep doing that, just general walking in, shaking your hand, saying, "Hey, I'm Corey Hosford. I never met you before, but it may not never work."
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to try something different. And that's something that we were just trying to get over. Is like,
So you just walk in there. How you did? You walk in there, offer everybody hot dogs. Hey, who wants a hot dog? Oh, me. There you go.
no, but that would probably work.
Be something different than the other 14 guys that are going to walk in before and after you with the same fucking proposal.
Here comes
You know?
another one. Dingleberry.
I'm trying to figure out what we can relate that to, but there's so many things of like just some dude lined up and everybody's railing them all day, and then hopefully one of them sticks. You know what I mean? He's gonna remember the best one.
Oh gosh.
Jeez.
It's the truth.
Man.
It's
So
crazy.
be different, and I think be yourself, because at the end of the day, everybody can smell bullshit. So
Yeah.
if you're, if you're
Yeah.
being somebody that you're not, it's super off-putting, and I think everybody can most of the time can read through that. So
Yep. Take
Yeah.
risk and go.
whatever your thing is, if you're outgoing, if you're funny, if you're shy, if just play into your strengths
Yeah.
and turn that into your thing and roll with it. You know.
Yeah,
Be
definitely
different.
don't try to become this thing you're not, because that's definitely weird.
Yeah, I would hate to have to act.
Yeah.
that.
And I think that goes back to the YouTube people. They've been online for so long, so many hours on camera. People think that they know who that person is. So if they did go into competition drifting, that's where they would be able to come up and it's like, hey, whatever, and feel that connection, you
Yeah.
know?
That's the fact,
And,
dude.
and if you're not personable in real life and all you did was make your vlogs, you know, you're going to be losing it. But
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do now, Danny?
Yeah. Speaking of SEMA,
Danny
rapid fire.
Yorgi, you got
Yeah.
90 questions on Instagram, and we're gonna spend 10 minutes on each one.
Right.
I have one SEMA related.
Oh, you got a question
Yeah,
already?
I was
So, yeah,
gonna-
so these are from Instagram. If you want, when we're done
All
with
right.
this, Danny, you can log on there and chat with everybody. But you got about 90 to 100 questions so
Okay,
far.
so,
So here's
uh,
one from SEMA. Go ahead.
One from Aaron Dookie, you know, the Dukester,
Okay.
first time messenger.
Okay.
He's asking, is it true that eating pineapples makes your SEMA less bitter?
Oh
Oh my God, the Duke.
Oh,
SEMA.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, he's talking about SEMA,
uh,
Danny.
Yeah, the show, the auto show.
right.
Yeah. Eat more pineapples, people.
Sure.
Isn't pineapple like a strain, like the pineapple kush or something
Let's
like
see.
that? I know nothing
Paco,
about
you
weed.
sound like a drug head.
Yeah, I know
Paco.
nothing about weed.
Yeah.
No, your
There's all
Pineapple
sorts of
Express.
pineapple everything.
Let's
Pineapple
see.
Express,
I'm
yeah.
scrolling through. This is I
If there's
shot.
bad ones, I like those.
Here's one
too.
that
Those
goes.
good.
I shot that. Question is 2 words. Stretch Miata.
Yeah.
Do you still have?
Oh, it's in the garage. Hopefully I should be driving it around SEMA, so maybe we'll do a little something for it.
Didn't
But
you get your Uber license?
I did just get an Uber license.
Yeah, you're gonna be Ubering people on the Stretch Miata.
I don't know if you might be able to get along. Definitely before I quit this whole useless program of Uber, of wasting my time. I think I'll probably end up doing something on a couple rides and throw a couple GoPros in there and just shoot that one. That would be kind of funny.
I hope a bunch of drunk girls just puke all over
Oh,
you.
Paco, come on, man. Why would you wish that upon anybody? This is another good question since we're on odd questions right now. This is a great one. Macho Man Randy Sanchez. If you
Oh,
were
yeah.
a girl, what would your name be? And somebody respond, Tito3KR says, it'd probably be Danquisha.
Do you agree?
Danquila, doc. I don't know. Yeah, I think if I had a sexy name, I think it'd start with an S for some reason.
Shithead.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going through.
One from Jessa Jameson. Speaking of like stripper names, if you could tandem with any legend in drifting, retired or in a different league other than Formula Drift, who would it be and why? If you haven't already.
God, I'm not like these. It's weird. I don't have like a background of like a lot of the like Japanese guys, and I never watched all the option videos. I was never like into that whole culture. I would like to go drive the Nürburgring with like Walter Rohr and like a CTR, Yellowbird Porsche or something. Like I would just drive with some legend like that.
We don't care about grip. We want drift.
Yeah, I mean, go watch those videos of that yellow burger on the Nürburgring. He's drifting,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not
Power
that
sliding.
starstruck on any drifters, honestly.
Really? Wow, you're the worst fanboy ever.
Yeah, I am definitely not deep through and through in the scene.
Let's see what's going on. Elkins 808. How does an E36 chassis compare to other chassis in competition level like FD? And also, what upgrade should someone do before drifting one? And I'm going to add to that too. What did you like better, the Miata or the BMW? So there's 3 parts really.
Oh, well, BMW, I mean, hands down, is amazing in every aspect. Grip, side grips, I mean, just stability, off-the-shelf parts. It was a no-brainer, and that's why I went that way. And I picked the E36 just because I think it looks better than the E46, personally.
Wrong.
Well, whatever.
Wrong.
My car, I love my car. But I think it's definitely the fastest chassis. If you go look at any event and talk to people, Christoph Blues, I mean, the other BMW's Chelsea's car was fast, even on tires that had no competition in that sport. And so just on paper, BMW is the best chassis. We'll see if Field's Corvette or anything can do something, but at this point, the BMW is the best chassis for drifting.
The 36 is lighter than the 46, right?
I don't even know what the main big differences are. I know the rear doesn't have as much grip as the E46, but it doesn't really matter. You have to win by driving.
Yeah.
So.
Question from Taylor Smash. Danny, will you and your car be appearing of the new season of Stranger Things? Can you give us a spoiler? Is 11 still on the upside down?
What does that mean?
Corey doesn't know anything about TV.
I have no idea.
Stranger Things. I watched like 10 minutes of that, and I can't get into all that crazy.
Oh my God, you're so
sci-fi
not a nerd.
weird shit going on. So yeah, I'm definitely not a nerd. I have no. Yeah.
Well, just for the premise, like the other world, it's called the Upside Down. You get it?
Oh, gotcha. I have no reference.
Wow. Go watch some
that.
TV.
Yeah,
Hey Jen, watch some shows with Danny, please. Needs to get
I
updated.
eliminated the cable for a reason.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm saving money.
Yeah, so here you go,
It's
Danny.
on Netflix, dude.
Danny, here's a good one for you. This is from Too Loud Bear. Is the medical cannabis sponsor a good thing, or did it kind of push you away from other sponsors or even general media coverage? How did this cannabis sponsor affect your drifting career?
I think it's been great. I think it opened a lot of doors for the future if anybody chooses to go down that route. I got nothing but praise really from everybody. I never really had too much negative shit. I mean, obviously there's some trolls online that were hating, but it's been great. And all the people that I wanted to work with, Next and Tire, stuff like that, SLR, stance suspension, VR wheels. Everybody was super supportive about it. Obviously the car, it came out and it was on the front page of every automotive website, news page ever. So, I think it went well and we did what we wanted to do. The ROI, I think, was done before we even hit the track, which is kind of what I sold in my proposal.
Right. No, it made
And
total
the first
sense
to do it.
But it was interesting because that's one of the talk of the towns. It's like, dude, would other companies want to be involved with a car that is backed by a medicinal marijuana company? Like, would that scare a lot of companies off? But did you experience any of that where you propose somebody and like, we don't want to be associated with that?
Honestly, I didn't really have to chase that. I had look who I was sponsored by. SLR, super awesome dude. It's personal business.
Right.
Stance, David Stance, small company, but still does quality work. And Paul from Nexon. And everybody was on board and said, as long as they knew I wasn't going to come out with weed leaves on the car and, smoking weed. And I'm not making videos of me smoking weed. And so I ran it as clean as I think you should. I mean, we pushed it a little bit of the boundary, but not really.
I don't think it was any like risky at all. Like at any point, like the worst thing I could ever say you did, it was like kind of like doing like a pose where you're like leaning down and kind of like
with
fingers.
the joint in the hand.
Yeah, but you didn't have anything. It was just your fingers.
Yeah, it's just a picture. So
I mean,
whatever.
That was. I don't think you ever did anything like, oh my God, he's like trying to corrupt the people or anything.
Was that any? But is that any different?
Joint while I was driving down the car, driving down the
Here's
street
the other thing though, Danny. Is that any different than somebody drinking beer by their car? Is it? You know what I mean? Is it like anybody taking a shot or
Well, yeah, I think it's totally different, honestly. And the reason why I think that's different is cannabis is used far more as a medical item. Beer. The last time I heard anybody was like, "Hey, chug a beer and that'll get rid of your anything symptom."
Don't judge me.
It's never. So it makes you make bad decisions.
Yeah.
I think cannabis is better in every realm of your mental state. I think it's obviously super healing on symptoms, and it's going to be the cure in everything going forward in the future. So
it's never killed anybody.
It's never killed anybody. People aren't. It's a whole different. It's apples to oranges on that. And I think cannabis now is a far greater thing than alcohol is ever going to be proposed as, because marijuana is going to be legal, and it's growing. I think everyone's medical, and you watch one video of a child that needs cannabis, CBD, whatever.
Yeah.
And seizures to no seizures in 30 seconds. It's like, what's the fight for anymore?
Yep.
That's a good point.
So.
Here you go. This is from Max Frolic. What's your favorite strand?
Strange.
Jesus,
Corey.
Corey.
I'm not.
Actually, what's in this one right here is Slimer, and this is a sativa, and Shango makes. This is probably the best strain of anything. It's just like super awesome. It's makes you want to get out and do something, and that's a good one. That's a good one. If anybody comes to Vegas, everyone's gonna be here for SEMA. So what you need to do is go to Shango and load up for the whole weekend.
Jesus.
And tell them Danny George sent you. Get a little discount. And enjoy your Las Vegas recreational marijuana.
What was that called? Was that called the Ghostbuster?
The Ghostbuster.
What was that called? The
Slimer. But they're strawberry cough. They have They have the highest THC of any flower in Las Vegas at over 33%, and that's Great Valley Kush. And there's another one that's called A-Dub. That shit will ruin your life.
I need to get a translator in here.
Yeah, don't cross state lines. By the way, you do it there, stay there. It's like a Vegas thing.
It's, as long as you're here.
Yeah.
So get off the plane, take your Uber or taxi straight to Shango, get loaded up.
Yeah.
Here you go, Janky Zanky. What's his plans with the LS400? Is he keeping it 1UZ? Be cool if he did.
Yeah. Welcome to the LS400 club, bro.
Yeah, I just picked it up. I was right down in Phoenix, and Corey showed up to pick me up in the morning, and
A day early.
Hey, by the way, thanks for letting me know. You know, I had to send some stuff to Vegas, as you knew.
Oh, what happened? You never, whatever.
You never told me that you were here, whatever.
Well, Corey should have told you. You guys live in the same bedroom.
No. No, we haven't lived together in the longest time. We broke up a long time ago.
I thought you shared the same bedroom still.
No.
No, so I don't know what happened. You failed on that one. Sorry, not my problem.
You failed me.
But the LS is getting. I just picked up some sick offset wheels, and I'm going to put some mud slingers on that and lift it up 3 or 4 inches, and we're going to build that as a gambler car.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, cut the fenders, flares. So I'm going to use that as a gambler car and a screw around.
When is the Gambler, and where does it go from?
November 11th, there's the Viva Las Vegas, and it goes SoCal to Vegas, November 11th and 12th.
Corey, I think
we should do that.
We need to get a Corvette and show Matt Field how big of a pussy he is for not bringing his Corvette.
Right.
To the Gambler, and just like dude, I just saw a Corvette for like $2,500.
Hey, when are we gonna have our koozies? When are we gonna have our koozies?
They're on the making right now, so
we should do every purchase from our koozies will go to our Gambler car. Yeah.
Dude, just Paco, you own 12 cars that are totally eligible to this.
Yeah, that's true.
So just pile in a bunch of people and just come and experience. It's so fun, and this is exactly what I'm getting back to. Is I don't have to be anywhere. I don't have to do anything. It's just you, your buddies, crazy stories, and a good time, and you just get to rally these back roads in a shit car. It's the best. It really is.
See, like that's what this encourages me when you say shit car. Like none of mine apply. Sorry.
Paco, really? Hold on, Big Ball saying
not.
Brian just bought a Suburban. Let me tell you that. A
Dude,
4x4 Suburban.
All be pitching $250. It'll be a good episode. You do a podcast.
I would do it. I would pitch in $250.
Be there.
Yeah. No, I mean we talked about it.
I say we do it.
We could consider something.
I'll give everybody a bunch of free weed as long as you show up.
So do we trailer our car to San Diego and it goes to Vegas? Is it 1 day or 2 days?
No, you drive that shit. You
Vegas to San Diego, right?
Yeah. No, it's like SoCal. I don't know, Lucerne Valley. So up where the Hammers is, I think.
Okay.
And then you go all back roads up to Vegas with checkpoints and stuff. So we're just going to be hanging out, partying, and you camp out overnight with everybody and all their. It's awesome. You have a bunch of cars, and they're all done up that look like gambler cars.
You saw that PT Cruiser I posted on your timeline, right?
Everything looks better.
Is that recommended?
With mud tires on it.
How many people signed up, or how many were in the last Gambler you did?
Well, the first year had like 10, the Oregon one, and then the second year was like 30, third was like 50, and last year was like 750.
No way.
Yeah, so there was 750 shitbox cars in this Oregon one that we did this summer.
Yeah, I say we do it.
I mean, dude, just start looking on Craigslist. Everybody who's listening to this, we should just show up with a huge drift crew at this event out of nowhere and just done. Make it happen, dude. Get 4 friends, pitch in $250, buy a car, put a little bit of tires on it and a light bar, and weld some shit to it.
Is it off-road or on-road? What is it?
It's all off-road.
But it's not like heavy off-road. Like
It's not like rock crawling. It's definitely, Crown Vics, Mercedes,
C4
Lexus,
Corvettes.
C4,
MR2s.
anything. Subarus. There's Festivas, vans.
I want a Geo Metro.
Dude.
Brian is ready to do like a rally stage.
Where I grew up at, it was just nothing but dirt roads. And when I bought my MR2, that's all I would ever do with it, just run around dirt roads
There you go.
every day.
You're encouraging him.
So we're going to turn the gambler cars after the event. We're going to just go out and do dirt tandems in the middle of nowhere on these like back roads, and
I say we
with
do
4
it.
or 5 of us just banging into each other. It's going to be the best.
How can
I
we
am
say
all
no?
for this.
Yeah, how can we say no to
I'm
this?
into this. If we can come up with something, I will do it.
Yeah, but you just want to get one of my shitbox cars.
I will do it. No,
No,
let's
go
get.
buy a shitbox
Yep, we're
car
doing it.
where you guys can
All right.
all work on it. You can make a couple videos out of it. There's your
He's
content.
got a Corvette.
We talked about
Get some
this.
sponsors, AEM to give you a filter. You
Oh.
can put the shit on the side of the door, whatever. You know what I mean? Like you could get some parts and a little bit of money to go do a few videos from this event. It's gonna be
That's it.
fucking.
I'm in.
All right.
She sold me on it. Thanks, Danny.
All right,
Done.
well, see you in San Diego, loser.
Yeah. I got a Lexus, man. That 1UZ. Baby.
I have a
That-
Lexus too,
that
bro.
V8.
Mine's a 5-speed. How about that?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool story. Huh?
You got to get to the end first.
Yeah.
Well, Danny George,
Dude,
We're
we have a
gonna
lot
wrap
of
up.
questions, but we could be here until tomorrow. We have to ask you
Rapid
every
fire.
single
You got
one.
any good ones? You got any good
yeah,
ones?
let's
Any
see.
bad ones?
We have a
Um,
lot.
Eric Jason, why did you suck this year?
New car. Didn't really care about the competition side of things.
I gotta just call you out on something real quick. You
Yeah.
came out on the first round and you qualified first, and I was like,
Second
this is-
round.
That was second round.
Second round?
Atlanta.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. But you missed the first round.
No, he went to the first round,
No,
but
I
that was
was
the
there.
first time
I
he ever
qualified.
drove the car. Was in
Okay.
Florida.
Yeah, and you qualified first. I was like, this is the Danny George we wanted to see. And he's going
Right,
all
and
out,
then I-
qualified
And
first.
then I sucked.
What happened?
Well,
Paco, we're just
tandem
doing
got-
just banger questions.
Yeah,
ahead.
Go. Keep going.
Yep.
I screwed up.
Yeah, you tried taking that too long. Here we go. How much, Alan Union? How much would it take to shave your beard?
Oh, that's even Jen went, because that's like a big one. If I lost 30 pounds, I'm gonna do it. I'm going to the gym, so we'll see if I can drop it. But
We
straight
can't
money,
tell.
100 grand.
Yep.
100 grand.
All right, here we go. Ahead, Paco. What do you got?
Send Bernie Flanders. Is Country Croc still shit, or has a formula changed so that it's a viable option for getting into race suits?
Once you got the right technique and the right product, you never switch it up.
So Country Croc it is still good. Okay.
Yes.
Alika 80. Was the rage quit? Was it real or fake? Say it ain't so.
Rage quit. It wasn't actually rage quit. I was ready, and me and a couple other drivers were.
Danny,
talking
make
about
it
before
fucking
this
short,
one.
please.
Sorry.
sweet.
Yes. Done with FD unless I get a shit ton of money and I'll come back.
All right.
There you go. Thank you.
XX Beaver Bay 420XX. Big fan of yours. What's your least favorite thing about Sam? Be specific.
His hair
Perfect.
makes me angry looking at him.
You want that gray, that touch of gray.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
like 25, so it throws me off.
31 Gallo. What did your parents feed you when you were a kid so I can feed it to mine?
Hot dogs, macaroni and cheese, Kraft only, blue box.
Oh, God. Liquid cheese or powdered cheese?
No, powder all day. And then
Oh.
you eat like half the package with your finger as you get it wet, like as it's cooking. Go on.
You disgusting piece of shit.
Very good information right here. Gerald Hernandez. I got a vasectomy yesterday. My balls are a bit sore and a bit swollen. That's it all. Continue.
All right.
Bag of peas, frozen peas.
Tyler, 328IS. Would you rather have a spaghetti in your pocket or ravioli in your shoes?
Spaghetti in the pocket.
Oh, for sure. All right, 666 Drifter. To aid in putting on your racing suit, do you use baby powder or cornstarch? Follow-up, is there less comfortable than your GIMP suit?
You got to look previous 3 questions ago. We already discussed this.
Yep.
Country crock, no powder.
No powder. Good.
Those for balls.
Brandon, Blackhand Brandon, what happens if you got a pee or poo during a run?
Oh.
Depend?
I've definitely been on the qualifying line and had to do something, and it
you
was
did it?
uncomfortable. I don't think I qualified that run, honestly.
But did you do it?
Not in the suit, never.
All right, here you go. Mike V. Skater, have you ever been bit on the Johnson while fishing?
Yeah, you ever seen that video of my friend holding the fish for me?
Yeah, you sent it to me.
Oh my God!
Don't.
What's scarier, the fish or the friend?
Oh my God.
Mr. Still Your Dog, do I get a compensation for each time your son, Jack, has punched me in the balls? Which, by the way, Frederick Osbo also wants to know how that goes because he wants in it.
He wants compensation as
Yeah.
well if Jack is paying for every time punching the balls.
I've been punching the balls by Jack.
Sorry, Osbo. Yeah, there's I'd have no season for sure next year if I was paying out on those.
Should we do like one of those
I think that's it.
lawyer commercials? Like, if you or a loved one has ever been punched by Jack in the balls, you might be entitled to a financial compensation.
Well, by the way, when you flipped your car, Jen ran down to you, and I watched Jack for about 20 minutes up there.
Oh, nice. Thanks, sir.
Hey,
Yeah.
Corey,
Speed
you're
backing your
watching
nuts.
Jack led to all of those ball shots over the years, buddy.
Yeah,
so
you-
inadvertently, you get the lawsuit, not us.
No, but when I was watching Jack up there, he roid raged, and it was the best thing ever. Like, he was flipping off everybody in the spotter stand. He was running around. It was the funniest thing. I just let him run it. See, that's why I don't have kids, because I'll just say, yeah, that's awesome.
that's why
Jack,
you
keep
don't.
going.
Keep going.
Jack, that is freaking cool. Yeah, I have stories that
event. Blow it out.
Yeah, you have to change his train.
The
Wait,
kid's
what?
an animal.
No.
He's actually my favorite kid and one of my favorite kids in the world. He's a very
Yeah,
special
he's
dude.
awesome.
I was lucky to watch Jack grow up in a small degree. So thanks for letting me be a small part of that and seeing it.
I
Hell
hope
yeah.
I hope he grows bigger than you, which won't be hard.
No.
It's almost there, honestly.
Yep.
Wow, damn.
All right, Danny George, it has been a pleasure. We appreciate you
my
coming
God.
on and spending all this time with us.
Oh my God! Wait.
And on a farewell, would you do
Are
a
we done
walrus?
yet or what?
Yeah, when you're done, can you do a double walrus real quick and light both of them up as we exit?
I gonna light him up while we send you to oblivion.
All right,
There you
Danny.
go.
Thanks for doing the double walrus as we send you off. We look forward for the Porsche, and we will see you at SEMA, my friend.
Good job, man.
See ya.
Job
See ya,
in the
Danny.
name of the
Later,
Lord.
dude.
Good night, Danny. Wow.
He ended it with a double walrus.
Jesus, man. I personally thought he was all bluff. I thought he was just like sponsored by Shango, but he didn't smoke.
Well, he obviously has some serious medical issues. That's why he just keeps smoking it.
He's
So
got
that's-
like brain damage,
Oh, yeah,
severe brain
for
damage.
sure.
And I think that's from when he let Jesus take the wheel at
Yeah,
Long
when he
Beach.
crashed in Long Beach, he's still recovering from that.
Still
so.
recovering from chronic back
Yeah,
pain.
he hit the tire wall at 10 miles an hour, and now he's
he
on-
also has a jack.
his kid probably
Just jacked
punched
himself.
his
It's
sack
enough-
off.
It's enough of a not disease. How do you say it? Like a
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Anyway.
Anyways, guys, once again, we're coming to the end of the episode. We want to thank our Patreons.
Ooh, the Patreons.
You guys are the best. And we got a couple products coming out. We talked about some T-shirts. We're actually having koozies made.
The spaghetti koozie is coming.
We'll leak some spaghetti koozies. If you like your spaghetti nice and cold,
our buddies from
this is the perfect koozie
our
for
buddies
you.
from Driftcast are making the spaghetti koozies, and they're making a sticker. There's gonna be a new sticker available.
Beautiful.
In a couple of weeks. So we'll let you guys know.
So we have some good products out that you
Yeah.
can actually purchase. And side note, to speed this up, I hope we do the Gambler. I hope we do.
Let's see if we can
Let's
do
talk
it.
about it.
Also, want to give a big thanks to McLeod Clutches, McLeod
Yep.
Tuner Series. They sent me a brand new ultra badass. I think it's like a stage 3 because that's what kids want. You know, like a lot of stages. 6-puck clutch for the minivan. So I'm doing the 1JZ with a CDW9 transmission, and the guys from McLeod Clutches sent me a clutch kit, and it's awesome. Can't wait to rip on it, and that's super badass. So I really appreciate it, guys from McLeod. If you guys need to refresh your drivetrain, consider McLeod clutches. Are pretty affordable. They're badass, and they have all kinds of clutches from entry level to triple clutch
To top fuel freaking
I mean,
drag cars that are running
10,000
5 seconds
horsepower.
on the
Yeah,
mile.
so
Great company, great dudes. And then also on that note, we got to thank AEM for taking us out to Irwindale, being a part of that show. The live Driftcast was awesome.
Dude, the bid for the, what's it called? The hurricane relief.
Oh, we did as you can see, we don't have our helmet up here anymore. AEM and us donated that to the hurricane release that happened on eBay. We also donated our swag pat. So thank you guys for ending up swooping those products, as all the money's being donated that. But it's, once again, it's AEM being a part of this, AEM being part of the show, and having us out there. So guys, thank you. Thank AEM.
And also thanks to Mitch Forsberg and Jess for putting together this the whole
right.
What's it called?
The charity event,
charity,
the raffle, correct.
Yeah.
But on a side note to that, AEM being a part of the
Cool.
show because they help us do this.
Mhm.
And that was one of the byproducts, is doing that. So thank you all again. We will be back next week. We're going to try to do a Halloween episode on Monday.
Spoiler
the
alert,
30th.
Corey. Good job.
We're going to try doing that, so it's a more of a reason to tune in. Maybe should we wear costumes?
Yeah, I think we should do like smoke machines and black
We should do
light
costumes.
and
Because that
Should we do-
Tuesday we leave for SEMA. So next Tuesday is SEMA Depart Day. That Monday is a Halloween special. So we'll prepare you guys for that. We'll get some post-ups. We'll release the koozies and all of the free merchandise. Not free, but all our paid
Wish.
merchandise to allow us to do the gamble. I wish it was free, but we're paying a lot for it. Thank you, guys. And we will see you next week.
thank you. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Big Balls.
Big Balls, Brian, for doing it.
Paco,
Controlling
the audio. And what else? You want? Well, let's Paco just end this on a very long rant.
I'm just waiting for the. There you go. I'm queuing the.
There you go.
There you go. So
Bye, guys.
good night.